Hey y'all, what's good? How y'all doing? How y'all feeling? Happy Juneteenth, baby. It's Black Liberation over here. Okay. Hey y'all, what's good? Welcome to another episode of Our Sisters Keeper with your good sis you let her talk TV with and
Your girl Allie Mack giving it to you when I give it to you, but always in the nick of time.
in the nick of time, chair. And we're gonna be talking about episode 15 from season 7 of Tyler Perry's Sisters. Y'all been going in the chat as we get ready for this live. The debates are already going, so clearly we have a lot to discuss. And you know what? I fear, Ellie, we're not gonna beat the allegations because I'm already starting to feel it. It's feeling like this is gonna be another episode of Our Sisters Keeper that might be better than the actual episode of the show.
That's always. I don't think I have yet to watch an episode that has been better than our after show. That's just me. That's just me.
Clock it. Clock it. That's T. Y'all, go ahead and drop your ratings on a scale of 1 to 10 of what you would rate the episode while I go ahead and do a little bit of shout outs to the dope folks that are in the chat. And if you are new and you would like to chime in, you have to be a subscriber of the channel. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you're lurking because you're going to want to join this conversation. I'm just saying. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Stop playing. Hey, Erica James. Hey, Shy Girl J23. Shout out to y'all for being members of the channel. Welcome, Miss J Foster, new member to the channel. Hey, boo. Hey, how are you? Shout out to Dominique. Shout out to Shakina, A Noel, Orange Pepper, Tracy B, Sephora D. Hey, boos. Save Sister 1965. How are you? Mel Cunningham. Mimi Loves Peace. Jasmine Stewart. Vaughn C, our amazing moderator, is in here tonight. Thank you, Vaughn. Love you, Vaughn. Who else? Kimberly Felder. Hey, boo, hey. Who else is up in here? Everybody is up in
Tiff
here.
Jones,
Tiff Jones.
Keela
Okay.
or Kayla.
Hey, Shari P. Hey, Lynn. How are you, boo? Lynn Williams. Jasmine. Shakita gave it up. -4. A minus F. They do negative Fs. They do negative Fs. I didn't know they do negative Fs, Allie. But it's giving
I love it
accurate.
though. Who gave? Oh,
It's
ignorant.
kind of
But
giving
anyway,
accurate. The negative Fs is kind of giving a little bit accurate. I ain't even gonna hold you. Child. This is interesting. At this point, I'm at a place with two of, I guess, were my favorite shows. I don't know if I could actually say that anymore. But between All American and Sisters, I'm just at a place to just laugh at this point. Because it's just like, I'm just here. I'm just here. It's not even that I'm here for the vibes. I'm just here. Quite literally, I'm just here. A lowly observer at this point, and I'm going to offer up a little bit of criticism, but I am just here because half the time I don't know what the hell is going on and why it is going on. But again, we're here to talk about it. All right. Ellie, you want to start with some of the ratings that you see?
Shy Girl J23. My dog said -3,000. -3,000, and I'm with her. I'm gonna pick that as my score as well. I'm gonna go with Jackie.
Negative
-3,000
3,000?
because this episode here, for me, it was worse than last week.
Really?
This episode was worse than last week. For me, it was. I don't. I was so distracted while watching this episode. I was doing so many other things in the midst of watching this because the very first scene, I was pissed. I knew it
Mm.
was gonna go bad when I looked at the first 3 minutes and I said, you know what? Whoever wrote this episode can kiss my ass. That I said it out loud. So I knew it was downhill from there. I knew there was nothing that could be done that would raise me from that place that I was in with this episode. I just knew the way it started off. It utterly, as you stated, I'm just here. I am locked in this roller coaster and I cannot get out until we get to the series finale because I have invested too much time and too much watch time to just not figure out how everything pans out. But I'm just here for the ride. because the writers have done what I knew they were going to do, um, and they did just that, and it was made more evident tonight. So yeah, I'm just here.
Child. Not we just here. We're just here, bruh. I mean, it is what it is. Lynn Williams gave it a 5. Tracy B gave it a 5. Shari P gave it a 5. Jasmine Stewart gave it a 3. Child. Hey, Kayla. Kayla gave it a 5. Sephora gave it a 6. Mm. So I kind of want to give it a rating, but then I feel like it's unfair because I was watching the Kendrick Lamar concert. I ain't gonna hold you. I just got off Twitch. We're actually late tonight because I was really trying to finish that up, and Ov ho just kind of hit like, and he did it like a bunch of times. DJ Busted just kind of hit. It's Juneteenth, so like when Andy and Fatima was having champagne in the office, I don't know what was said because I was listening to the concert. Uh There's a couple times I really wasn't paying attention. I don't know if I would say it was worse than last episode, but again, I really wasn't paying attention because I realized, like, I think I'm just accepting. I'm just in acceptance. We are at the stage of grief where I'm at acceptance. Okay, this is no longer the series that I initially signed on for and loved. I'm hanging on by a thin ass thread with Karen, my favorite character in the whole damn show. But I don't even know how long that's going to last because the writers seem hell bent on dishonoring her character, which is interesting to me. An interesting choice. Y'all do what y'all will with the word interesting, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think I would probably give this
Mm-hmm.
episode like a 3. For real, for real.
Yeah.
My biggest criticism for the
If I
episode
had to,
overall is I hoped, and it's interesting that you said that the writers did exactly what you thought they were going to do. I actually hoped that with the show getting a writers' room, that they would then have additional resources, i.e., eyeballs, to be able to further flesh out the stories being told. So there's not so much pressure on Tyler to keep certain storylines going, to be able to hit specific beats, and to be able to honor each character. So with more people, I would expect there to be more attention to detail, and it feels like it's even less. It feels like there's so much throwaway stuff put in there and a little bit of fan service, but a lot of throwaway stuff that doesn't actually align with the characters that we have been given over the course of 6 seasons. And when they took over the ship, it kind of feels like in a lot of ways they are ignoring who some of these characters have been built to be over the course of 6 seasons. And that part is literally my biggest criticism, my biggest frustration, because it's not even about the writers not having the characters do what I want them to do, because it's not even about that for me. It's about, are the writers writing true to the characters that have been established? And I don't think that that's happening.
yeah, if I had to, like, on the scale of 1 to 10 to give a realistic score for this episode, honestly, I would give it a 2. And a lot of it does have to do with what you stated. I do not believe that they are writing the characters based on how we have grown to know them and to know of them and their nature and their actions. A lot of the things that they're doing, and I think we stated this for the past like two, our sisters keepers. It just it seems as if they have the characters doing things just to do them. There is no rhyme or reason for them doing some of the things that we're watching them do. It's just like, oh, this sounds like a good idea. Let's just go about it this way. It seems very, some things does seem on brand for some characters, and then the rest of them, it's just like, what are you doing? I think that we discussed it last week. They're having a hard time finding Karen. And then I guess the more I learned about these writers and how most of them had never even watched Sisters, which says a lot. And then you had to cram 6 seasons into a 2 week process. So you have not lived with these characters. You have not really been in a place to authentically write them, to know them. I just feel like it was just, it felt rushed. And I think the more I have not ever listened to any of the lives from the writers. 'Cause I don't, they lie so much. But the destruction of the character, or the assassination, of the character of Karen, um, is definitely in full effect. Is if I had to go back and find out who wrote this episode because I know it was a man.
And it
It was
was? Who wrote
Jamie
it?
Giddens. It was
Ooh.
Jamie Giddens. Like I knew for sure when as I was watching this episode, I said a man wrote. I could tell instantly. I said a man wrote this episode, so I had to go before it started this. I had to go back and see who actually wrote it. But I'm like, yeah,
Shakina says, as a writer, you can
yeah.
change a character, but you have to have a realistic view on these characters in a fictional story. Yeah, and as a writer, there are ways that you change a character. Characters that have been launched into a world, especially ones that have been living in a world created by somebody that, one, the world that you did not create, you're coming to write for, you still need to honor that. And if the character change, then they have to do so by lived experiences that you subject them to that forces them to change. You don't get to just write them as this changed person, or now they're completely talking different, or they're completely acting different without the world, the people around them, internal struggles, demons, thoughts, anything. Without any of those things actually happening, you don't get to now have them do something a completely different way or be completely different, because that is the way that change happens. So I just wanted to piggyback off of what Shakina said. Like, that is where I am 100% struggling, because we're seeing the characters in pretty much similar setups to what they have been placed in, but they're behaving and speaking in ways that might seem subtle but are very distinct. Like, for me, I appreciated, and I guess we're just gonna go ahead and start here. I appreciated Aaron
Mm-hmm.
getting in Karen's ass because it needed to be done. However, I did struggle with the specific words that they chose for him to say, because I don't feel like all of those words were actually true to the Aaron character and for what his intention was in communicating that. Even in checking Karen, as y'all would say, he was doing that out of love, out of respect, and out of honoring what his intentions are for the entire circumstance. His intentions have always been to show up for Karen, to be the man that Karen had never even experienced before, and but rightfully deserves, and he could see that, to be a man that was true to himself, right? And now to be the best dad that he can possibly be to his unborn child. That is his intention. To me, some of the things that he tied in with his little speech did not actually point to those intentions. Like, you basically gave Zach an out and you gave Fatima an out, when you know, especially in the last season, every bit of Karen's animosity for those two people in particular is justified. The last time that the time before last that you saw Fatima, because you saw her when she told you about the baby being yours. Cool. But the time before that, she had intruded into Karen's fucking house. She had compromised Karen's safety, intruded into her house. So to now be checking her and say that you blame Fatima for no reason, you blame Zach for no reason. Zach gives her a million reasons to be angry. Fatima gives her reasons to be frustrated. I think earlier on, the presence of Fatima, the idea of competition was definitely something that bothered her, and it was something that she needed to deal with internally. But the Karen that we see now, the Karen that we saw in season 6, it was not about Fatima as an idea. It's about Fatima overextending herself in the circumstances into matters that don't actually affect her, but they do affect her, that aren't actually in her preview of control, but she thinks that she controls everything, but they do directly affect Karen, like the damn paternity test. So with the haphazardly handling Aaron's dialogue in that way, and like having him tack that on, to me it lessened the credibility of what he was saying in the place in which I felt like he would have been speaking from to get her together, because this is a long time coming in reference to the energy that she has been giving him, and we have been talking about this for weeks of like, she needs to stop giving him this energy. That is very much so valid, but them slotting in those little outs for Zatima, no, that should not have been included in there, because Aaron knows and Aaron stands on the fact that Zach be doing too goddamn much, which is what made him take his ass over to that goofy ass basketball court, and he knows that Fatima be backing that shit up as well, even if she got sent on Tuesdays and Sundays.
I agree that I was happy to see him put his foot down in that sense. But it just did not seem on brand. It was so unnecessary. And it goes back to one of my biggest issues with this show. is pushing the agenda of Karen just being this miserable, bitter black woman.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the thing that really got me is when Aaron said, that's why Zach couldn't handle you.
Mm.
And I said, wait a minute, because you're acting as if Zachary Taylor is this or was this model boyfriend or the man in her life at the time that they were together, which is so far from the truth. And it was just so interesting because as I was watching that scene, I immediately went back to when Aaron went off on Karen, when he witnessed Karen go off on Zach. And then later he came back to apologize because he was like, I don't know, what goes on, with you. I basically I jumped to conclusions and I'm sorry. But now you are fully immersed in what Karen has dealt with Zach. You have fought Zach multiple times. You have seen Zach put his hands on this pregnant woman while y'all were out, which in return y'all had a fight at the steam plant. So you know all of these things, and just as you stated, the last time that Aaron and Fatima were together before coming into the knowledge of him being the father, it was that Fatima had just walked her happy ass into Karen's apartment. So again, the fact that he brought up Zach, the fact that he brought up Fatima and Karen's friends, it was almost as if you're the reason all of these things are awry in your life when it comes to Zach, when it comes to Fatima, and when it comes to your friends. And ultimately, I felt like that was done for Karen to feel guilty in order to apologize because no one ever has to apologize to her. It's always her going to apologize. So when I said I felt that the writers were going to do exactly what I thought, that's exactly what I thought they would do because she has to be the person for whatever reason to issue out the apologies. I was with Aaron until he started, the whole miserable thing and bringing up people who were so irrelevant, as you stated, to the purpose of him being there and to his initial intent. Bringing up those people, it's so much stuff between Aaron and Karen. No one else had to be mentioned at that time.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody.
I agree.
Nobody.
I agree. He could have literally just addressed her her interactions with him, which again was 100% warranted. And it feels like it's not something that's true to Aaron's character, because even when he has had conversations about how Karen interacts with other people, whether it's Andy or whomever that we have seen, he has handled it with a lot more kid gloves. And I think it is because he's informed by that first time that he went off on her, and then he got to see certain things play out. He's like, okay, yeah, I don't actually know this, that, and the third. So to see him abandon that now, again, that just feels so inauthentic to who Aaron Carter has been shown to us to be. And honestly, it's a little bit frustrating. It's a little bit frustrating because season 7, for all intents and purposes, should have been a season where they really were able to breathe new light, or new life, I'm sorry, into this series that has been going on for quite a while, but with new blood in reference to the writers, with new looks, with new relationships. All of this newness is coming, and for them to not actually create a transition that honors the characters that we have been on a roller coaster with, that we have been on this ride with for 6 seasons and 4 years, and now just, I guess, try to do a completely blank slate and do whatever the hell they want to do. It feels almost disrespectful to the audience. Yeah, it feels a little disrespectful.
I agree. And it's like it's like a jolt. Like, wait a minute, what just happened? Like, what did he just say? Because and I ain't gonna lie, I was excited. I was looking forward to it because I'm like, this is the Aaron that we met. He ain't take no mess. He stood on business. So I was excited to see that. And and then listening to what he was saying, I was like, now hold up. I was with you for a brief moment, and you took a sharp left and you kept going. You didn't stop and put it in reverse. You kept going, and it just felt so inauthentic, and it's frustrating. I don't know if frustrating is the word, but as you said, like we talked about, it's that grief thing when you're watching something that is totally opposite of what you fell in love with or what you enjoyed, and you're watching it basically deteriorate week after week. It's becoming something so unrecognizable,
Yeah.
and that's what I feel like this is.
Um. Somebody said, "What mom wouldn't want to pick out her own stroller?" I saw the comment and now it's gone because y'all are lighting up the chat. I appreciate it. But somebody said something to the effect of like, what mom wouldn't want to pick out her own stroller? Even that was fumbled. And I feel like it was fumbled not in the execution or the acting. It was 100% fumbled in the dialogue. Because if I think that Ebony tried her best, and this is what I took. You tell me what you took from it, Allie. It looked like to me Ebony was trying to deliver. She was actually excited at first, and then she had to squelch that excitement to honor this wall that she has put up to Aaron. And in a lot of ways she has taken out and projected a lot of her frustration onto Aaron, which is something that we have alluded to or spoken about in previous episodes, because she feels safe to do so. So I felt like it was a jumbling of that actually happening. Yes, she said, I would want to pick it out, but like, that is not the problem. Like, Aaron is a man of means. If she wants to exchange the damn stroller, they can exchange the damn stroller. That's not actually the argument here. So for the person who said it, which I'm sorry, because so many people who put in the chat, I can't really find the comment again. But that's not why she was mad. She was not mad because she wanted to pick out her stroller. She's mad, to Aaron's point, because she has not experienced a man show up for her in the ways that he actually is. But she's also conflicted in not wanting him to be the man to do so. So it is not about the stroller and him picking the damn stroller. And I want us to, at least for the purposes of this conversation, think a little bit more critically. This is just, y'all, if y'all have been here for a while, which I think the person who posted a comment, Hope for me said, I appreciate Aaron's zeal, but he's still overstepping. What mom doesn't want to pick out her own stroller? Hope for me, you have been here, boo, and this is no shade to you. This is just me calling everybody in right now. Y'all know here on Our Sisters Keeper, we go deeper. Like, we do not hover at the surface. And a lot of times, especially in this universe, the characters might say one thing and actually mean another. And it's our job to take into context what could be the meaning behind the words that are actually being said. Because a lot of times our words are just vehicles, misused vehicles for certain feelings. So like, let's not make it a trivial conversation in reference to saying that it's an argument about the stroller, because it was never about the stroller. What you think, Allie?
That's true. I felt exactly how you felt, because it was funny you brought it up like that, because when he first came in and then she did seem like she was excited, my brain automatically thought, well, how did we go from this to what I know is about to happen? Because she did appear to be like, oh wow. Then it was like a moment of, okay, I gotta swallow this because I have to do this. As you stated, I think because Ebony is such a great actress, she was able to pull it off because she pissed me off. Like I like she pulled me into that, but it's like I was able to feel like I felt like she was excited initially, and then it was like, oh no, I'm getting too geeked up. Let me fall back. Let me put this thing back on, and then now I can go here. Now I can tell you doing too much. Now I can make an issue about this stroller when it really isn't about the stroller. And I think we've mentioned it before or alluded to the fact of maybe that situation with Jennifer is really bothering her, and she just refused to say the words about it or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
The stroller is not the issue. You know what I'm saying? It's just like that's just a side effect, or it's something tangible I can point blame to, but that's not really the root issue as to how she feels towards Aaron at the moment. So I can't say I'm longing for the day or waiting for the day that they have that conversation. But that's how I feel. It's not about the stroller at all.
Yeah.
It was just an easy thing to like. It's like almost one of those things when like your man or your girl gonna start an argument with you. Like you are like, well, I like cheese on my burger. You just bought me a regular plain burger. Well, nigga, you said you was hungry. If you hungry, you gonna eat, bro, cheese or not. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I got the baby stroller, and like you said, it is something that both fathers have funds. If you don't like this stroller, you could go take it back. It's not that deep, but that's just what
Or
they
get
decided
another
to
one,
use
because
as
again,
a
he's
way
a man of
to.
means.
or get another
They
one.
gonna have
You
they
can
gonna
have more
have
than
more
one
than one
kid.
stroller, child. They are going to have everything they could possibly even think of. It's interesting because I went to go see Inside Out 2 last night, and if y'all have not seen it, go and see it. If you haven't seen Inside Out 1, go see that first. But I love this animated series, and I'm even an animated series kind of girl. But Inside Out, the animated film, it is the second in the series, and it introduces other feelings like embarrassment, anxiety, and it's chronicling those things inside the brain of this teenage girl. And it was so great because it gave such a reminder on the elementary level of like how our feelings are working inside of us, and like how sometimes we have competing emotions depending on the circumstances that we're placed in. So when you were talking, Ellie, I literally was thinking about like that's a great example in reference to like you might be thinking one thing but you be feeling another, and that is competing within your brain to like express itself. So again, go see Inside Out 2, y'all. If you need a reminder, if you need a grounding, you need a little bit of healing and making peace with certain things as it pertains to your emotions. But like you can have dueling emotions, you can have four emotions competing at once, and I think that's definitely what was going on. There's a bunch of people in the chat who I do want to honor what y'all saying in reference to Erin not giving her boundaries. I think it's interesting because there's a very strong there is a very strong subset of people who still hate Aaron and like want him to be gone. And that is so interesting to me because I don't feel like I see the same outwardness in communication as it pertains to Zach. And for all intents and purposes, they're at the same place right now in reference to both being fathers of her two unborn children. So why is it that Aaron needs to respect Karen's boundaries, which I think that he's actually doing, and never show up again, but he's a father and he wants to be present, but nobody's saying anything about Zach? Like, is she supposed to go through this pregnancy 100% alone? Is she supposed to not have a man, one of the men who have fathered these children, if not both of the men who fathered these children, preparing for her birth and helping buying supplies and bottles and cribs and strollers and this and that? Like, I'm very curious for the dialogue that's happening in the chat right now, because there's a couple of people who I think feel very strongly about Aaron, and it just feels a little bit out of balance, if like, for lack of better words. But going back to what you said about the assassination of Karen's character, one thing for me, these writers, Tyler Perry himself, could never make me hate Karen, could never make me like, it would take the Karen character to like completely do something, and then even that, it would be very hard for me to get to that place. So while I can see the assassination as it is being mounted against her, I am kind of like Ray Charles to the bullshit with it, because it feels just like that, right? Even Aaron clocking Karen as miserable, that again didn't feel authentic or natural to what Aaron Carter would actually say to Karen Mott. It felt like what Karen haters would say if given the chance to put Karen in her place. So I'm just basically kind of ignoring it, if you will. I'm taking the like, give him respect, honor him for the way that he is honoring you, but the rest of everything else that he said, you can miss me with it. It's almost as if you didn't even say it.
I feel the same way. There is absolutely nothing that they can do to make me dislike the character. And I think I want to give a shout out to the both of us, because we have so many people who are in your comment section, who are in my comment section, and who are in the comment section of our Sisters Keeper, who will constantly tell us that we don't hold Karen accountable, that we don't ever, excuse me, call her out, which I know they definitely don't listen to us if they can say that. But because it's not delivered in a way that I guess is suitable to their ears, it's as if we don't say it. And I think that in this moment, we are able to say, hey, this is what I'm noticing about Karen, and this is something that I do not like. And I think also for those who know that we ride for Karen, and they may ride for her too, it is still okay to call out behavior when it's not justifiable. Like it's okay to say like she my girl, but what she doing right here? Nah, sis, I can't rock with that. Like, what's up? And I think that that is appropriate. I think when we're giving commentary, that yes, she may be my favorite, she may be my homie, she the homie or whatever. But when she does this, I have to talk about it because if another character did it, I'm gonna say something about it as well. So it just has to be done. But I think that going back to what you said, it really did sound like it as if someone who just despises the character of Karen had an opportunity for their narrative and for their words to be spoken. And I want this writer to know, Jamie Giddens, just because you had Aaron say certain things, it doesn't soften the blow. You
Mm,
might as well had Zach said that. I think like for me when I was listening to Aaron, I said it feels like that this man wrote that so that it could be a softer blow. Like, oh, well, now that Aaron is saying it, maybe Karen really is miserable. Maybe Karen really is bitter. No, bruh. No, I'm sorry.
yeah.
It didn't play out the way we thought because it was not on brand for Aaron to say that. Now, if you would have had Zach said, I would have called him an asshole because who are you? But the fact that you decided to let that come out of Aaron's mouth, it just made it to me that not that it was comical, but as you stated, like okay, you it went in one ear, out the other ear for me because
Yeah.
it just didn't make sense for him to be the person to say those things to Karen.
Yeah.
It
I'm all here for him saying things sternly and being curt and all of that, but those are just simply not his words. They're not. Sorry, not sorry.
no,
Um, and I think what's the most egregious thing about this whole thing and pushing the Karen is miserable narrative or trying to make it resurface, because for me that has been put to bed ever since like season 4 at least. Because while I wasn't ever dubbing her miserable, again, I understand cause and effect, action and consequences. A lot of her aggression, a lot of her frustration came rightfully so from certain things being done to her. But because in society we believe that black women should not have any kind of emotional responses or any kind of reactions to the things done to them, we think that when black women do have a reaction, now they're bitter, now they're miserable. Well, no, she's just having a natural reaction to some that was done to her. So the conversation around Karen being miserable has always been a non-factor for me, but I know it has been a heavy one within this fandom. It's more egregious to me that they can actually have Aaron say these words out of his mouth specifically to Karen, but they don't have anybody over on the other end telling Daniela that she's miserable when she in fact is. Because last time I checked, miserable people are not carting their big twin pregnancy asses out of bed every day, launching a damn salon, still trying to show up for friends, still trying to check on people mentally, still trying to be strong and communicate and foster additional relationships. Like miserable people aren't doing that. Miserable people are not filling up their fridge with nutritious foods. They only have alcohol and weed, and they're taking their problems away, or they think that they're taking their problems away and not taking any kind of accountability. Meanwhile, the word miserable, the word bitter has never been heralded towards a person who actually displays some of the characteristics that I actually would align with the word. And that to me is the most egregious shit ever.
facts on facts on facts, facts on facts on facts. You hit it on the nail with that.
Before we get off of Karen and Aaron, how do we feel about Miss Lisa and her response? Or lack thereof. It was kind of a response. I'm gonna give it that. It was kind of a response.
It made me feel it was an episode, I can't remember which one it was. And I was like, Miss Lisa, what the hell are you doing, ma'am? The fact that it was almost as if she was co-signing everything that Aaron stated. Because she was like, just consider, like basically, baby, just consider what he's saying. I said, okay, so this is another push for Karen to consider and apologize. Like that's how I felt. I felt like, Mama, you know your baby better than anybody. You know her nature, her character, and her heart. There was some truth excuse me, to the things that Aaron was saying. But then there were just some things because it made me feel like you blame Karen for the issues with Zach and Fatima. I wonder if she does because the fact that
Hmm.
she didn't have like any type of objection, that's it caused me to believe that maybe she does believe that. But then again, she doesn't know everything that has transpired between those three individuals. But that's what I gathered. I wanted her to say more, and she just didn't. Other than
Same.
consider it and let's go eat.
Same. I wanted her to say more as well. And I wanted her, if that was going to be the dialogue that they gave Aaron to say, then Miss Lisa should have been the objective, trustworthy narrator for the audience to be able to filter through what really should hit home and what we should just like let go, basically. And that to me is the solidifying punch to the like assassination of Karen's character, because you literally have her mama stand there and basically co-sign everything that was said. The same mama
Literally.
who saw her daughter enough to realize that she needed to express herself as she's having certain reactions and still check her and calling Fatima up and doing certain things popping up at the house, but like write these letters to get it off your chest and understanding that she needs that grace and that time. But then she is misblaming Zach and Fatima. Do you know that Fatima barged into her house with a gun? Oh, okay, Miss Lisa.
Facts.
Y'all ain't that damn hungry.
At all. And then for Miss Lisa to be there, you told Zach not to come to Karen's grand opening. You sent him away. The brother came back and you saw him make an ass of himself, attempt to embarrass your daughter by calling her a hoe and bringing up this paternity test in front of her clients, potential clients, and guests. You know all of this. Like, you know these things. And I just, as a collective, as a whole, like I know there are so many people who just don't like the character of Karen, and that's fine. But when you can see, which we have been seeing it for years, that biasness creep into the writing, it it sours things because it's not coming from an authentic place. It's coming from outside noise and not the true writers' room staying true to the nature of the situation. It's like, oh well, man, the fandom, they kind of want this or they kind of no, damn them.
Damn them.
They don't have a job. You do. You know what I'm saying? They're not getting paid. And I see so many fans was like, oh, they need to have me in the writing room. I need to be writing. No, the hell you don't. This is a public service announcement from me to you. No, the hell you don't, because you're already biased as hell. Get you writing, please, please. No,
No, not
no.
at
Writing
all.
to me, writing is not about who your favorite character is. Writing is about telling an incredible story with
Mm-hmm.
ups and downs and wrong turns and making bad decisions and being as authentic as possible. It's not about pleasing a character or a fandom. And sadly, a lot of shows buy into that and they end up ruining themselves, which we see every day, B.
Yeah.
Like we see it every day.
Unfortunately.
Yes.
Unfortunately. And we already don't have a ton of series for us, right? Like we already only have a handful, so it kind of lends itself to have additional pressures for us to show up and be truthful like as possible. I think about if I was hired to write for Sisters and going into the room and having to honor the Danny character, I would have to put my hate for her aside, and I would have to start to ask certain questions, specifically starting with why would a woman like this do this, how does a woman like this get to the place that she currently is. And then it's now my job as the writer, regardless of how I personally feel about this particular character, to honor every nook and cranny of those answers to those specific questions. And it feels like that is too much to ask of these current writers for all of the women, not even just Karen, because it's similar things being played. It's similar things being missing and falling through the cracks, I fear, with all of the characters. But I think because Karen is the character with the most meat and potatoes within her story, it is the most glaring, because she has the most nuance that can be glossed over, the most nuance and depth that can be missed. Sabrina has a very surface level story, so it's less it's less things to drop, less balls to drop in reference to having specificity and detail and telling her specific story. Same thing with Daniela. They have been missing the mark and not being able to dive deeper into her goddamn why. But again, it's less there than what they have given to the Karen character. And at this point, it's just an honest plea for the writers to like do more, fight harder to honor the women that these women represent.
Yeah. Those are and Erica just gave a one-on-one um tutorial or a one-on-one if you ever thinking about becoming a writer and getting into a writer's room of an established show. How you feel about a character does not matter. It just don't. If they're your favorite, if you hate them, if you don't like them, if you are indifferent, you are there to tell a story and to be true to the nature of the character. It is not about adding your personal feelings. And I think the moment that that is implemented, you ruin the show because it's based on what you want to happen instead of number one, the story, and number two, how the character fits in that story. Their dynamic with the other characters on the show. And I just feel like for me, the moment I heard Deval and Crystal, they talked about how they were rehearsing for Sisters, and when Tyler walked in and just saw them together, he made the statement, "Oh, I like this. Oh, I like this." And then you went and wrote a show around them over two characters who were not fully developed, over characters who still to this day, going into what the third season of Zatima, there is no purpose for the show. There is absolutely no purpose for the show other than the fan. That show was created for the fans, period. And that's why, to me, excuse my language, it's a shit show because it was no purpose. It was literally for the fandom. That's what it was. Well, why we only saw 3 minutes of Zatima? Why we can't see? And then you give them a show, and then it's a mess. And I feel like, yeah, you love your fans, but you don't have to. You don't cater to them because people ain't buying BET Plus to watch Zatima because it ain't that good. So they wait till it come out on BET.
Y'all need to be getting BET
So
Plus
it's
to
like,
watch
no,
DR from Detroit. Now that shit is good. Here.
I still ain't watched it yet. I gotta
Ellie, you
add it.
gonna
I
love
gotta
it.
add it to my
You gonna love it. Here, the writing, oh my god.
yeah.
Brilliance. But
Yeah.
come on, Ellie. Clock that T, honey. Clock it. Oh,
We gotta clock it and we gotta be real. It was somebody in the comment and I meant to say something when I saw it. But I want us to leave this here on this good Juneteenth. Because people have been saying this since season one, episode two, or whatever when we introduced the Aaron. Can we please destroy the narrative of Aaron is hiding something? Aaron isn't who we think he is. Aaron is a con. Aaron is a crook. Aaron. When is it gonna happen? What is he hiding? How is he fake? What is it? But it go back to what you said. There
Mm,
are a group of people who don't like Aaron, and you don't have to like Aaron. And that's my thing. You don't have to like Aaron, but why we create these ridiculous narratives that is not who he is? And I think that's the thing that get me. If I'm not too fond of Fatima, I don't have to create false narratives. I could just go by what's being shown on the show.
mm-hmm.
Just like today, I can't say she pissed me off. She was true to her nature. What should I do? You should tell him how you feel from the bottom of your heart. Girl, we watch you lie to Zach every week. When you gonna take your own advice?
Ah!
That whole scene irritated the hell out of me.
Child, Ellie is preaching
Oh my
tonight.
god. That whole scene irritated the absolute because I get so sick and tired of people like messaging me about this whole thing with Fatima as if they just want me to say I don't like the trick. And it's not even the fact that I don't like Fatima. It's just the fact that Fatima is not she ain't no chick I will rock with.
Yeah. Yep.
Because she just want to be a chick that I rock with. That doesn't mean I don't like her. It's a lot of people who I think are cool. I don't rock with you like that. And I just don't rock with her like that because Fatima, and the more I'm seeing this character, Fatima is that type of woman who go around, yeah, girl, we've been together for 10 years. I'm so happy, but out of them 10 years, you only had a good 6 months. So
Ooh.
don't brag to me about your 10 years.
Ooh.
And so that's what I'm seeing, like with the character with her and Zach. Oh, yeah, girl. Just like in this thing with Fatima, who I'm rarely wrong. You're wrong a lot. I rarely do anything wrong. No, you really do, sis. You really do. Oh,
Clock it.
I really don't have to apologize because I really don't do anything. I'm sorry. What? Okay. I just it was, and the fact that Danny even went over there for advice. Since when?
Zach don't even
Since
like
when?
you.
Zach don't like you, honey. Shouldn't you be at the airport? Shouldn't you be at work?
Oh
Oh, I
my
forgot you
gosh.
don't work.
No, no, no. They both work full time. When?
They work. We both work. I work full
When
time. You work full time. Full
is
time.
the full time job of Zachary Taylor in the room with us? Because y'all both work full time. When?
Baby.
They are stressing me on this damn
Zach.
show, and I don't. Ugh.
Ooh, I had to laugh because Fatima left, went to work, came back. Zach was on that couch on that computer
In the same clothes.
playing Tetris in the same clothes. I cooked the dinner. I cooked what he said, wheat pasta, whatever the hell he said he cooked. Michael's oh, baby, um, help me, Erica.
Yes.
I know I'm great at math. I'm a whiz at math. I'm damn near genius when it comes to math. Now Michael is 3 years old, right?
Yes.
What school he going to? What bus he catching? What school bus he getting on that other children could pick on him? The baby is 3. What school he going to?
What school is he going
Is it a
to?
daycare? Is it a daycare? I'm trying to understand because he needs special attention. What school he going to?
Like, y'all
I
gotta
don't
be
want
for
nobody. I don't want
real.
nobody to pick on my son. I don't want nobody to pick on my son. Baby, what ages are the kids he's riding with?
Cause when did they start putting kids on the bus to go to kindergarten or pre-K? Pre-K at that. Like, he should be in pre-K, right?
He's 3. He's
If
in
anything
daycare.
is okay, daycare. Child.
Yeah, you in daycares. I think like to get in the pre-K program, you got to be at least what 4 or 5. What
I
are we
think I
doing?
went to pre-K at 3,
I
but
can't.
I went to a private school though, so that's a little bit
Okay,
different.
okay, okay, okay. Yeah.
Putting him on the bus as a nonverbal autistic kid at 3 is wild behavior. And I guess we're here. We're here. You think that one of us should take him to school back and forth each day?
Why are
Which
we having this conversation?
which one of us, Zachary? Because if you're going to make a declaration of I'm going to pick my son up and I'm going to take my son to school every single day, that's a whole other thing. Then, hey, one of us, which one? The one who does work a full-time job that we actually see them go in every single day, get ready every morning, cook you breakfast, and get your child ready? The one who also leaves that full-time job and then goes to law school? Fails, but still goes? Solves a couple fires for a good friend, Andy. Going to go ahead and tag Danny ass onto the list too because that's going to come up, and then comes home to a dirty ass baby because you've been too busy playing solitaire all goddamn day in your grave sweatpants, and she still got to bathe them, feed y'all, study for law school, go to bed, and then get up and do it all over again. Which one? Is it you or is it her? And at what point, like, y'all got, oh my gracious, y'all got to stop fantasizing behind. And again, I need to let it go because it's also, Erica, you ain't no fucking Avenger and you ain't going to be able to shepherd everybody over to some sensibility. But the people who are riding for this Zatima relationship, I'm starting to think it's mental illness. No shade, but kind of shade. Because what are you rooting for? This man who is Jack is the worst type of nigga, I swear. Because he wants to advocate to be the leader, the big bad alpha male honcho, I'm the leader of this household, blah, 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 blah. Then every single problem that arises, because all the main problems, you go to Fatima like a little hoe. And she got to help you fix it. You are uncomfortable with Michael riding this damn mythical ass bus to this mythical ass school. So you could decide that you're going to take him to school and pick him up. But instead you want to come and offer up this goddamn problem and tack it onto Fatima's bill to fix more. Because, you know, it's not good enough that she fixes every other fucking problem for you. But then still want to sit your ass at the head of the goddamn table and call yourself the damn leader of the family. Leaders actually have to lead. And the fact that he literally came to her and said, one of us is going to have to pick him up and take him home. Fatima, leave him! Fuck! Please!
It was just the fact when he was like one of us, we automatically knew who the hell he was referring to. Well, one of us gonna have to take him, Dumbo. Who shall it be? Well, I don't know. I don't know who shall take Michael to school. It's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Fatima, it's almost one of them things where it's like, even the character, like, I don't even have no respect for this character anymore because this is foolishness. This is utter foolishness watching her with this man. Oh, you know, I got you. You know what I'm saying? I got you. I told you. Baby, he don't have you.
At all! Nothing about this says he has you, honey. You are free falling to your death, mama. Free falling. No parachute. No bungee cord.
And all he gonna tell her is, man, you know, when I was in high school, I used to swing and dangle and fall all the time. You be alright. That's all we gonna say. That's all we gonna say. Fatima, baby girl, leave. Leave, baby, because it ain't working. It ain't working. Mm-mm.
And I thought that I like checked out. I thought I checked out of Fatima, and I'm like, I'm gonna go ahead and like, I'm gonna let her fucking have it, because this, like, how you feel about Fatima is like kind of how I feel about Danny, and I'm like getting it with Fatima. But it's moments like this that I actually realize, like, I'm secretly hoping for this bitch to wake up. Like, stop. Can you please stop being stupid? And I hate this for me, and I hate it for her. And it's something that is bringing up something so real, because I've experienced this before. Like, I've experienced this before, letting go of a friend. That season of like, can you please stop being stupid? I don't know what else to do with your ass. I have dressed in all black. I done tried to fight bitches with you. I done given you my car to go chase niggas. I done ran up on your nigga myself. I done sat here and listened on for nights on end. I done told you it's gonna be alright, even though, girl, we all going to hell, led by your nigga who is driving us with gasoline leaking everywhere. Like, I have done everything that I could possibly do as a friend, and now I'm at the place of like realizing I can no longer do anything to help your ass, and I need you to stand up, and you refuse to stand up. So I'm standing here like, bitch, stop being stupid, please. And she's not.
She's not. She's enjoying it. And you know, honestly, even though I give a lot of flack to Zach, I don't think Fatima's good for him either.
Of course not, because she's enabling him to stay this little ass boy, and it's just it's so frustrating.
Yes.
And it's honestly, y'all, it's most frustrating, not just that particular thing, but like when y'all come and y'all kicking all this little nasty ass energy my way. Oh, you just hate Zach. Actually, I want the fucking best for Zach. Actually, I actually see his potential and think that he could be better, and he don't have to be this raggedy ass Negro. But y'all little misogynistic ass male identified ass women who can't seem to wake up are going to have multitudes of men living in this goofy ass space of comfort and dysfunction, all because it's woe is us, and just, you can never expect a nigga to do better. You can never expect a nigga to rise to a fucking occasion. Fatima isn't good for Zach, and it is literally because everything that she chooses to do enables him to stay at the lowest vibration possible, the lowest intellect possible, the lowest amount of emotional intelligence possible. Y'all clocked it accurately 2 weeks ago when you said that she makes this relationship convenient as fuck. She makes it convenient for Zach to stay mediocre, and that is exactly why they are not good together.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Ooh, that's. Well, I'm waiting for the comments on that one.
I'm putting these clips
Cause,
up on Twitter finally.
cause y'all just don't want them. Y'all just don't want them to be together. Y'all just, girl. Why do you
No,
want?
no,
And I
no.
be
We
telling
don't
people,
want
I'm
you to
like, if
stay
you
in
really, really
relationships
love
that you
them,
have to
you
sacrifice
don't want them
yourself
together.
for. We don't want you to be in relationships where you have to dim your light. We don't have to be in. We don't want you to be in relationships that require you to be the dumbest version of yourself. Oh my god, shocker, crazy thought. Shame on Erica and Allie. She wants me to be a bomb bitch. She wants me to operate in excellence. They want me to see it for myself. They want me to rise to the goddamn equation and maybe get to stepping and walk the per like y'all. I'm trying not to go completely crazy, but y'all gotta be fucking for real, okay? At this point, it's also getting. I need to stop sparing. If Aaron ain't sparing nobody, and he coming out here with everybody else's goofy ass rhetoric coming out of his mouth, then I get to tell y'all asses the fucking truth. Allie and I want the best for you as well as wanting the best for us, and y'all need to stop coming for us acting like we don't want the best for everybody goddamn involved. If you want to argue and you want to fight to stay mediocre and or dumb and stupid, then you go ahead and do it, but fight with the fucking wall and or your mama, not us. Because bitches is over here operating in excellence. Bitches is over here trying to watch this show and figure out how we can move better in our lives and how we can circumvent certain things, because you ain't got to go through everything to grow from certain things. And y'all asses need to grow the fuck up immediately. For everybody who's already there, just go ahead and kiki, because that's not to you. But the ones who know it's for you, catch that hit in the chest, ho. Sit with that. Yeah, sit with that.
Oh, baby.
This what happened, Ellie. They don't give me
Hey
enough story to
man,
digest.
please.
Now I'm about to start just reading every fucking body. Because the way,
That's what it gotta be, cause it was it.
Ellie, the stuff that we get sent, the things that get said to us, and we just be having to eat it. We be having to take it on the chin. We just some haters. And I don't understand how people literally put together the two brain cells that they got to say that we are just some haters when all we're doing is asking people to be better, including ourselves. On a week-to-week basis, you sit here and watch us process our fucking feelings. You watch us ask each other why, how, do you think? It's given follow the leader, and you bitches ain't listening, or you keep following the wrong leaders. We are your leaders. Get in line, ho. I'm gonna shut up now, Allie, because they gonna have another fucking Reddit post up about me by midnight. They already sick of my ass.
Oh God! But you know what it reminds me of? You know when you are in your season in life, and a lot of us have been at this place before. When you're young and you have this sense of invincibility that I'm gonna be with him or I'm gonna be with her, whatever your preference is, and you just out there living your life as if nothing can affect you. And then there's someone who comes into your life and speaks wisdom and gives you a word that you might want to take heed to, but in your mind you think, I ain't listening to that man. I'm about to do whatever I want to do. Then years go by, and then you realize, if I would have listened to that word that was given to me when I was in my young phase or wild and crazy days, I could have saved myself some heartache. I could have saved myself pain. I could have saved myself losing someone or losing people. And I think that for us specifically, it's kind of like we are that agitator that sheds. It's almost like it's a scripture in the Bible where it talks about, how when light is shown on darkness, people want to hide their deeds. People want to keep that close to the chest. And so when you begin to put light on it, it's like it's exposed now. Now what are you gonna do? And I know for me in my personal life, I am an agitator with people who are around me because I do want to see people be better, be their best selves. So in order to do that, you got to deal with some stuff that you might want to keep hidden. But when you deal with it, things about you begin to shed and you begin to see yourself changing. Because it's one of two things. You're either growing or you're regressing. And you want to be in a position where you're growing. I just feel like that's what we do. Because I've talked to people privately too, on DMs and stuff like that. And it's like at some point, the struggle love has to cease. And sadly, that keeps getting pushed down black women and black men's throats with these shows, with these movies. Struggle love is not cute. You can have a love that is healthy, not perfect, but healthy. You're gonna go through things, but it's healthy. Like, let's see that. And when we do get that, people don't, what was the photograph with Issa Rae? People dragged that movie not because they thought it was bad, but it was like, where's the conflict? Where's the issue? Where's the argument? Why we got to have that though? We
Mm.
can't just have a beautiful love story, but Zach and Fatima are goals. That saddens me, and I'm not even being funny. As a black woman, when I speak to people who tell me that Zach and Fatima are goals, my heart breaks for them, because there is no way you should look at that and aspire to want to have that apart. That for that to be your story, and it's sad.
It is.
It's really sad.
It is. And I think that's what you were speaking about initially in reference to like age, right? And when you're younger, you think certain things because you don't know anything different and you haven't experienced heartbreak in a certain way yet. I think that also is why I am like losing patience with this particular set of women, because y'all are not actually in the age bracket in which that shit would actually make sense. Y'all are in the age bracket, and we have
Correct.
heard about, and for Fatima, seen that you actually have experienced things that should have taught you or informed you to move differently, not only to protect yourself and create toxic ass walls, but just so that you can honor yourself in a way that's better than you did in a younger season of your life, and you're just choosing not to, which doesn't make any sense. And another thing that came up for me while you were talking, Allie, is the idea of struggle love. And I know we've talked about it extensively. For the most part, we have talked about it from a place of heterosexual black men and black women. But while you were speaking and thinking about Fatima specifically in this episode, I'm also getting something that is playing into the idea of struggle love with oneself. Like Fatima is 100% struggling to love herself adequately. And that is why she's behaving the way that she is. And I hate that shit for her too. You are only able to be an enabler, and you are only able to prop up this man as if he is the greatest thing walking. Meanwhile, he has all of these areas to address, areas of opportunity, areas of weakness, whatever you will call them, to address, because there's a dysfunction there in reference to how you see yourself, how you value yourself, how you choose to take care of yourself. And from my point of view, it's an actual lack of taking care of self. Aside from anything that's not aesthetic, I don't actually believe Fatima to be taking care of herself. And those decisions within this relationship are a direct result of her not actually taking care of herself and or loving herself.
I agree with that, and I think it's even more difficult, speaking on the character of Fatima, when she doesn't have anybody in her life who holds her accountable, or who puts her in a position to truly acknowledge what's going on. Even we talked about this last week with the Andy character. Like, your homegirl, not only your assistant who you want to see become a lawyer, but she's also your bestie. She's failing school, and the response you gave her was you had an issue with her professor, because the professor expects more out of Fatima than anybody else that's connected to her on this damn show. And then we see on tonight's episode, Fatima is running late, not because there was an issue with Michael, but because you sat there to give Danny this fake ass, I guess, advice. That's why you were late to work. And then Andy says, I mean, you're late. I mean, but I'm not tripping. What you mean you're not tripping? She's your assistant. You are handling a high level divorce case, and your assistant isn't at work, and you cool with it. So why does she get to slide like in those spaces? You're failing school, it's okay. You're late to work. Your boss don't, your leave when you want to leave. That's not life. But as you stated, like she's not taking care of herself because, and she doesn't have anyone there to check that in a way that produces change either.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not. Like Zach is just he just jokey joke, but no, she don't apologize or no. And I'm not saying that this should be excused, but at the same time, Zach still has feelings as well. But a lot of those things they're just like overlooked, I guess, because I don't care about the bastard. But if we gonna tell the story, tell the story. You know what I'm saying? He's still he's still in a relationship. He's in a relationship with a woman who has put hands on him. He's in a relationship with a woman who consistently talks about how big and bad she is, or whatever the case may be. And it's like, as a man, how does that make you feel? That at
Mm-hmm.
any moment your woman gonna put hands on you. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all have a volatile relationship and it gets overlooked. Oh well, Fatima was just mad. Well, I'm sorry, what? And then today, the things that she was saying to Zach while in the presence of Danny, if that was Karen, they would have drugged her to all but damn.
Mm-hmm.
She had nothing nice to say, nothing uplifting. It was all bad in my personal opinion. And as I'm listening to her, I said, damn. I said if Karen would have said that to Dan, it said that to Zach in front of Danny, it would have been what kind of woman is she that she would try to embarrass her man in front. I didn't see none of that. Not that I don't really be on Twitter like that anymore, but I didn't see any of those things on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing. But that's to be expected because, and I always said this. I said the things that people give Fatima passes for are the same things that they crucify Karen for. The exact same thing. But one gets a pass, one gets crucified.
Yeah, and then we want to act like and gaslight other people who see it within the audience and say that that's not actually happening. That's clearly what's happening. If we move over to the conversation at the duplex with Danny, Zach, and Fatima, it could just be me. So I will eat it if this is the case. But Fatima, why are you here? When Daniela walks in and tells Zach that she needs advice from Zach, why are we not just like, okay, babe, I'll see you later. Daddy, if you need some help from me, girl, feel free to hit me up. I gotta go.
We know why she there. Yep. Because Fatima thinks Zach will slide up in anybody with a coochie. That's why because it's insecurity.
Mm-hmm.
Is insecure, and I think it gets shown in various ways because why were you there? I came to ask Zach for advice. You could have been left and went to work, sis. I didn't ask you. I mean, Danny eventually asked her, but it was like I came to ask Zach for advice, not Fatima. And then I felt like because I literally verbalized, I'm like, why are we trying to prop up Fatima and Zach to appear as if they're a couple worthy to give advice to somebody? I'm like, y'all playing in our face this entire episode. This entire episode.
Yeah.
Zach talking about give head. You don't even know what she was trying to apologize for. And then my thing is this with Danny. To me, I mean, she's basic, but you ain't that simple. You know how to apologize. I mean, what are we doing? We just had to set up an opportunity for Danny to go over to Zach's house. Like that was just I was like I said, I was just so irritated with this episode, but that started from the very first scene. But this to me was I think I have an issue with the writers trying to strenuously push this friendship between Zach and Danny and Fatima. It just seems so forced. It doesn't seem real. And it seems like this is another thing that's being done in a way to piss off the character of Karen or to make her feel like, this is something that she should be accepting of when in actuality, I'm like, y'all don't even have to go to the lengths that y'all going to because you already had a good foundation when Fatima was helping Danny find out what happened to Jonah. Like it was a sentimental moment.
Yep.
I just think now they just, oh hey girl, hey boo, oh girl, I like your hair. Shut up. You just saw her the day before. Don't do that. When they was at Karen house, like you literally just saw her the night before. Like don't do that. It's just they're doing too much. And this scene today was just too much for me too. It was just, it just felt so off brand.
Yeah.
It really did.
I mean, There's definitely holes there in the establishment of their friendship. For me, I just hate the codependency that is playing out in every little thing. Like, you don't. I think y'all are right to a certain extent of like trusting Zach around any female, but then I think it's twofold because it's that part, and also note to like, oh, he's excited about a nanny and you want to make sure it's an ugly one, and that's a very real thing that you can joke about, but that's a real thing that you actually have to put in place to prevent your man from sliding up in. That's wild. But okay. But then the other part of that, to me, the second part of that is you want to be integrated into this goddamn friend group. So you're sitting here to get tea, and then you go ahead and you share tea, because when you get to the office, you say, "Oh, I was running late because I was talking because Danny came by." Well, what did Danny talk about? Like, that's none of her business. Now you're playing telephone, and then you have a problem with somebody clocking you for doing shit that you like. It's not your business to tell. You don't need to know, but you insert yourself at every given point. Girl, find some more friends and go away. Go away. Because aside from you enabling Zach to be this raggedy ass, mediocre ass Negro, you are literally dumbing yourself down to this woman who is running around here listening in on conversations, inserting themselves into things, and then passing the buck and passing information along as if that is a life. That is not a life. Y'all are not actually making conversation. You and Andy are not homegirls because y'all trade tea. That doesn't make you homegirls. This is stupid and childish.
Say that sharing tea does not make you friends. Child, I'm trying to remember what else happened on this episode.
I'm trying to read some of these dang on comments. It felt like the
Okay.
chat slowed
Yeah,
up when I started reading
that'll be
everybody. Did I piss y'all off? Did everybody
that'll
leave?
be
I gotta
better.
see
Yeah.
the how many people still in here. Oh, we got 119 people. Y'all ain't leave. Shout out to y'all. Um Kitty Mia says, "This is my last night watching this BS. I will just wait for Zatima to come on, but for the show Sisters, I'm done." I don't know how much better I don't know how much better Zatima is gonna be as it pertains to writing. Shout out to You Got Mail. Thank you for that super chat. They said
Oh,
Danny and Fatima's relationship is so off. The conversation between them doesn't even make sense. It's so cringe to me. It's so arbitrary. It's like, Allie, I think you really clocked all of it. It's so disingenuous. It's so inauthentic. And the part that pisses me off as an audience member is not that y'all don't have anything to go off of. Y'all literally had the end with the Jonah thing, with Andy spiraling and Fatima handling it. You had an end. You had a very natural, organic way to usher these girls into some type of friendship, but you chose to build their friendship on the shaky ass ground of their dislike, mistrust, hate, whatever y'all want to call it, for Karen. And basically y'all building their friendship as a house of cards, and then you want us to buy into it, and then there's some other goofy ass fans who want us to like ride for it. It's like, and everybody with sense can see how shaky this is. Let's be for real. Again, thank you, Boo, for that super chat. You the best. It's wild. Completely wild. And then also, y'all are trying to push this new relationship of two girls who are friends who are not actually operating in the best seasons of their life, period. Like, give Sabrina a new friend. Somebody who's a little halfway damn stable and healthy and not leading with malice in any part of her life.
yes. Please. I just and I'm just so like Sabrina is, and I hate none of them. That's why I hate to say this. I mean this with everything in me. It's getting to the point that I'm sorry. I could do without her.
Ooh.
And I love Novi. I love Novi. But I can honestly do without the character of Sabrina because now I'm like, what the hell are you bringing? Like I
Mm.
don't her storyline, and I think this is the for me, and I guess the type of shows that I like. There are so many. I think almost every storyline that has come across Sisters, I have grown tired of because of how long these storylines drag out. I didn't care who the baby father was of Karen's children. And she is, if I had to have a favorite character, I would say it would be her. But it's like I'm starting not to care about any of these things. With Sabrina, have you talked to Danny? What? Okay, even if you ask that question, why do you care? I think they have to say things that it doesn't do anything to the story. Have you talked to Danny? No, I haven't, and I'm not. Okay, Karen, like she doesn't give any type. There's no follow through, no follow up. Danny, have you talked to Karen? How did that go? Because you just asked that question just to ask. Because if she said, "Yeah, what is it to you?" I don't understand her thing with Maurice and her conversation with Maurice and him saying that he may have somebody. And we know that it was he brought up Calvin, and it's just like with Sabrina, and maybe she stated it before. I just don't remember. Is it the fact that she wants to have a family, or Sabrina just wants to have a child? I don't know what she wants. Is it the family that you want, or you just want a child? And then the fact that you would ask or even be considered with Calvin, who went on, who was in a relationship. We know that he's not with the girl anymore per Maurice. But do you just want a child that bad that you like? I don't know what she wants because personally, I feel like Sabrina's already pregnant by Rich.
Mm-hmm.
To keep it a book.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I don't know anymore. I really don't.
I think the entering in a conversation of potentially bringing Calvin back to me is making Sabrina's storyline more interesting. Um, but I get it. I get what you're saying in reference to, I guess, the lack of purpose. Like right now, she's definitely focused on having a baby, but I think it's not. It's less about the lack of purpose and the lack of understanding or communication of her why. Why is she focused on wanting to have a baby now? They have not given us that, and I think that that's the part that you might be struggling with the most. She does kind of feel like she's floating. Why did you want to be the bank manager? Again, why? You know what I'm saying? Why? Like you said, do you need her to talk to Danny? Why do you want this friendship group to stay together? Any of those things could be great things to dive into and to add additional layers and nuance to the Sabrina character, and we're just not getting it. So it makes her feel very inconsequential to the show right now.
Yeah, it's just, and I think that's my thing. Like even with Calvin, I think if I would have found Calvin interesting when he was actually on the show,
Mm,
I would have some excitement, like, oh, the possibility. But to me, they completely ruined his character the last like season and a half that he was on the show because he was literally just running behind Sabrina, even in places he really didn't even need to be. But I, I understood. I thought that Kevin was a great friend to Maurice. Like genuinely, he was a good friend. Um, but with Sabrina, I don't know. It's just like, and I think maybe it's something I'm just get sick of the show as a whole. When it comes to this, is there are so many open ended things that we just don't know. There are so many things that get touched on, and then it's like it never happened. Like Sabrina being financially responsible for her mother or taking care of her mother. Maybe that was the reason why she needed, to be the manager so badly because she's providing for two households. But we really don't get any deeper information or depth when it comes to the things that are actually going on in her life. And then now with Rich, it just seems like everything is getting um overshadowed by their sexual relationship.
mm.
It's like all they do is bone. Like, damn, y'all bone all the time. Y'all need to be having some serious conversation because this chick trying to get pregnant. Which I think on the upcoming episode we're gonna see that more. But
But even that, I'm like, I'm annoyed with it, low key, because on the preview that I saw, y'all got him asking, did she stop taking birth control? She been stopped taking birth control when she started taking them goddamn shots. Are you new here? Like, what, Rich? Did she stop taking birth control? Of course she stopped taking birth control. She's harvesting eggs, nigga. Like, and this again goes to the writing and the lack of depth and paying attention to goddamn details. She is literally going through freezing her eggs. Of course she's off of birth control. That is why y'all are using the condoms that you can't seem to keep on.
Okay.
A mess.
That's why I just, I don't even know what to say. But yeah. What else happened on this show? Gary is sick as hell.
That's your boy. Allie, I'm done with him. I am done with him. Because jacking off to a stranger, describing inaccurately, might I add, because she didn't have anything black on, sir, but okay. Jacking off in your goddamn office to a stranger, describing what your obsession is wearing is diabolical work, Mr. Demon Gary. And I'm gonna go ahead and leave. I'm gonna
say this, and baby, I'm with you. And that takes a lot for me to say, because I was enjoying Gary, even with all the hell he was raising. That scene literally made my stomach turn. Literally. I was disgusted. Like, it was not, I don't, like, Jamie Duda wrote this, baby, I don't know what's going on with you. But when I tell you,
it got so graphic too. When he was on the phone with Tamara, it was the whole like this in you and da da da, and I was just like, "What the hell? We in a Zane novel? What the fuck is going on?"
Yeah, yes, screaming all in you. I said, "Wait. Now, damn it, why are we here?" Why are we here, baby? I cannot. Like, I'm done. I'm so done. Because Jamie Giddens, baby, he took it to a whole nother level that I was not expecting, and I can't rock with it. If I had ate something prior to, literally, I probably would have threw up. That's how disgusting I literally physically felt watching that scene. I said, I'm done. I can't. I'm done. I don't care. And like you said, when he called Tamara, and just how graphic he like, and even that almost, I'm like, Gary would say that. He's a little bit more smoother, even when he's aggressive. That was just plain nasty. That was just nasty. I'm done.
Friend,
yes, commit him.
Friend,
commit him.
I was watching. I said, "Is this your man?" I was thinking about you, Allie. I said, "This is your man." Because you got it, girl. I can't. Cheeto fine as hell, but I can't. I can't do it. Everything about it was a turn off. A complete and utter turn off.
Yes. Now let's be clear. Cheeto, I still love you. I love you. But Gary? Hell no. That was, baby. Nope.
So I'm gonna keep this writer criticism going, since we already here, and it is what it is. I know that y'all some artists, y'all sensitive about y'all, so take it with a grain of salt if y'all happen to stumble upon the clips or this live. Do y'all thing, y'all making money off of it, so yeah, whatever. Tamara, I said last episode I was done with her, but at this point they're doubling down on the lack of any kind of continuation on the character development that they had for her. Now all of a sudden she's just so completely unsatisfied with Hayden, and don't understand that he has to work, and this is the biggest case ever. She's a whole kept woman, and now all of a sudden she just can't handle it, even though he's still fucking the shit out of her. I do not know what y'all are doing with Tamara. I really don't know. Why would Tamara send Gary the video so she can prove that she has been recording them, as if Gary won't just flip the switch and then show Hayden his goddamn self? Like, what are y'all doing? Y'all have turned Tamara into one of the dumbest hoes in the land, and I hate that for her, because she literally had a little bit of bite, a little bit of something to her, and now she's a clown a bird, if you will, and I don't understand it for the life of me. And to me, I'm putting it all on the horrible ass inconsistent writing.
I'm gonna say this because I 100% agree with you, Erica. There has to be a master class that Tyler Perry gives to people who write for him because they all follow the same uh criteria. Create a character, get people to actually like them, destroy their asses
Mm.
in that order. Because how is it the character like Tamara? There were some people that didn't like her simply based on her profession. I wasn't hating on the girl for being a gold digger. Baby, do what you do. I ain't hating on you because of that. I liked her. She was a breath of fresh air when she came in. We knew what her agenda was. She wasn't gonna let nobody play her, including Fatima. I ain't gonna let nobody play me. I'm about my money. I'm about whatever. And then the only thing we was concerned about, like, dang, is she really getting feelings for Hayden, or is she playing him? And now with this thing with Gary and her being like so clingy, that is not who we were introduced to. And going back to who we were talking about earlier about how if you're gonna change the character, that's fine because people do change. But it's so drastic and it's such a jolt because it does not, it's so inauthentic to who you fashioned them to be in the first place. You laying naked talking to your auntie. Like, what? Remember, I told you about her.
Did you?
What? Really? Did you, Tamara? No. You ain't got no damn auntie Beatrice. It was just,
And also, Hayden, not too much because you haven't even met Madam in a way of like, this is, oh, that's technically not her family. That was her employer. But like, let's not talk about, oh, she got some random old family member who I don't know. You don't know none of her family. You don't know nothing about this girl. You know nothing. Stop. Stop.
you know, nothing. You know, nothing. I'm just like, and they keep expand. And I think this is the thing. The other thing that's irritating me too is that they keep expanding the worlds of the people on the show who I don't give a damn about.
Mm.
Jordan, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's going on? Just, like, don't get me wrong. You know what I'm saying? I pray Penelope is still on this side of heaven. You feel me? Like I pray homegirl still breathing. She probably not, but I pray she is. Um, I don't give a damn about Jordan. I definitely don't give a damn about Jordan and 2% milk. I don't know his name, so he 2% milk today. I don't know the brother name. But even with
Ah.
that, I was so irritated on that scene because, of course, it appeared that Jordan caught him doing something he had no business doing, and I'm thinking, well, dang, Jordan about to get in his ass. I'm joking with you, bro. What? That's
Mm-hmm.
when I said, right as you can kiss my ass, because that actually would have been a great moment. Seeing if 2% milk could actually act nervous or scared or uncertain about how he's gonna lie to Jordan, and he just gets off because Jordan is making a jokey joke. It's like, what the hell am I watching? And I was like, you know what? I was laying in bed. I said, God, you know what? I said, I remember when I used to be so excited about watching Sisters. Like I used to be like, it was such a build up every Wednesday. Now I barely remember. I barely can remember it's Wednesday. Like I literally could miss the show, and I'm just like, I don't. I'm. It's sad that it's like that, but I'm just like, baby, I don't know. Then Andy shows up with this breakfast and tell me everything there is to know about 2% milk. What? You just met this man. You want to know his whole life story? What the hell are we doing, Jamie Giddens, who wrote this episode? And I know, like Erica said, I understand you're a writer and you sensitive about this shit. I'm a writer as well, but I just want to say I do not understand what the hell y'all doing over there in Tyler Perry Studios in that damn writing room. What the hell are y'all doing? And I'm not here to bash or trash y'all, but the quality and what y'all have been giving us has been pure trash. And I mean that in the most respectful way possible because I don't want to clown nobody's, job. However, y'all need to do better. As a collective, y'all, the writers, y'all need to do better. We deserve better. And it really pisses me off because I feel like y'all playing with our intelligence at the stuff y'all putting out for us to consume, as if, oh, because I feel offended almost in a sense. It's like, oh, they black, these black women, they gonna watch whatever we put out there. It don't have to make sense. Just give it to them. That's how I feel like y'all view us. And we are intelligent women. We have goals. We have degrees. We have businesses. And y'all give us this piss poor writing. That's exactly what it is. Jamie, you specifically, brother. I don't give a damn. This was piss. This episode was pure trash from the very beginning. It was pure trash. And I'm sorry, but not sorry.
Well,
And
I'm what
okay, now Erica, was it me or did it seem like Jordan and 2% milk was flirting? Did you
I
pick up
didn't
on
peep
that?
it, but I wasn't actually paying attention. The moment that he started smiling and laughing, I checked out the whole goddamn scene. I'm not even gonna hold you. Like I was listening to
Okay.
Kendrick, so I couldn't tell. But what you're probably picking up on is the fact that in real life he has that energy about him to men.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I can't confirm it or not. I'm actually not rewatching this episode. Honestly, y'all gonna get what y'all get in reference to this breakdown because this episode will not be rewatched. So I can't even say once I rewatch it, I can let you know. I don't pay attention to Jordan enough to know. I did pay attention enough to say Andy.
Anybody in the audience,
Yeah, anybody in the audience, did y'all clock it? Let Allie know if y'all clocked it
did
as
y'all
well.
clock that? Or was it just me? Yeah, let
While
me
y'all
know.
do that, the part that I did pay attention to, Andy, I already apologized. How many times do I have to apologize? However many times that he needs. That's something that I think that y'all don't understand, and I'm saying y'all generally in reference to the people who do not understand the function and execution of actual apologies. They need to be issued in whatever manner the person who is deserving of said apology can receive and just process and accept it. So if you have apologized once, twice, three times, and the person needs you to do it a fourth, and you actually want to be forgiven, then you will issue a fourth apology. It's just that simple. You, as the transgressor, does not get to tell the victim when to accept and forgive you and to move on after you have done something to them. His whole goddamn sister is missing and her little unborn fetus as well. And you want to sit up here in your cute ass white suit like you're going to Diddy's white party talking about, I've already apologized. How many times do I gotta say it? As many times as he needs it to be said. The same thing happens when Zach needs to apologize. The same thing happens with Daniela. Y'all don't seem to understand how fucking apologies work. If you actually mean them and you want to be forgiven, you give what is needed for the person to move on. Not what you believe should be enough so that y'all can go ahead and bypass whatever the hell you did. Because if that's the case, you should not apologize because you're apologizing from a place of narcissistic intentions. You are centering yourself when an apology is all about the person who you're supposed to be apologizing to. Again, grow up, Andrea Barnes. How many times do I gotta? However many fucking times it takes. And definitely don't come over here with scones, muffins, and coffee and orange juice thinking that's going to change anything. My goddamn sister is missing. No buttered bread is going to change that, Andrea.
You know what I thought about Erica in that moment? Remember when Andy told Karen that she owed her an apology over
Mm.
something that Karen didn't really owe her an apology for? So I found it interesting how you did something that was wrong to Karen and you felt like she owed you an apology. She apologized. You didn't really want to accept it. Like I said, I wouldn't apologize to your ass in the first place. And then you really had having the need to apologize to Jordan, and then you feel like you don't have to because you already did, as if you just stepped on his foot, as if a whole human being isn't missing. I found that so. I said, Lord, I said, these entitled, spoiled ass women is mainly Andrea Barnes. How she expects people to apologize to her and grovel, but when she has to be the one to apologize and be sincere about it, she have an issue with it because she's already apologized and she think bringing some cheap ass breakfast gonna help. Oh, please don't ravish me because I look so amazing, Jordan. That man don't want to kiss you.
Who is ravishing
He
anybody
barely
when my
wants to.
goddamn sibling is missing? We're struggling to figure out how he's even going to go play basketball, and you're talking about ravishing you?
Okay.
Are we in a goddamn Twilight Zone?
Yep. Yep. You want him kissing, slobbering all over you while his sister's somewhere. Well, none of us know where she is. I said, "Are is Andy this detached from reality?
She has to be.
She has to.
And they let her be that way. The writers make it so she could be that way, which is so annoying.
Yeah.
Child, I'm sorry. I was just scrolling X for a second. Twitter, I'm sorry. I did not mean to call it X. It is fucking Twitter.
Oh, you good?
Uh, and I'm seeing all the people rejoicing in their hate for Karen and what Aaron said is like the whole trending
I can
sisters
imagine.
hashtag is, yeah, Aaron, this I don't like you, but I like you today. Y'all need to grow up. Y'all really need to grow up. This is hilarious. What else we need to talk about, y'all? I feel like we missed some things.
I tried to write down some notes. Let me see what I got on. Um. Pam asking out. She's gonna ask out Trey the next time she sees him.
The way, and this, we should have brought this up when we were talking about the assassination of Karen's character, because why in the fuck does Karen care? She don't. Even so much to make it make a point of saying, well, if he's into me, then why would he be into you? That is not about her being ghetto. It's about you being flirty, promiscuous, if you will. Pam, it's about you not really taking niggas seriously and you having a whole goddamn roster. It's not a thing to look beneath you. Trey feels like he's giving off energy of he wants a fucking relationship. You don't seem like a relationship girl. That's what this conversation is. Why are we fumbling to have Karen say those words? Because that's what she was trying to get to. But we immediately go to, oh, you trying to say I'm ghetto? When did she say that? And why in the hell would Pam assume that? Like, Pam, you not even that ghetto. You nosy at best, honey, but you stay put together. You're never a mess. If anything, Daniela is ghetto, babes. You are not ghetto. If anything, you are bougetto, but you're not ghetto. So, like, to try to make this narrative stick that Karen believes Pam to be ghetto and beneath Trey, when it's like, no, Pam gets niggas. Trey don't look like he wants to be a part of a roster. It looks like he wants to be the main course. That's what the conversation is to me. But maybe I'm wrong.
You're not wrong in my opinion. It's going back to what we've been saying that these writers, and specifically Jamie, since he wrote this episode, why are you having such a difficult time finding Karen's voice to imply anything more than I'm pregnant and he was still trying to date me, which would imply, as what you said, this is a man who wants to stick around. This is a man who more than likely wants to be in a committed relationship. And Pam, you're into boning men in the back room, different men when Karen not at work. Those are your vibes. And any fine man that walk through this door, you acting as if you're thirsty. And maybe he's not attracted to that. And there's a way that it could have been written for Karen to say that. Because I'm like, why has it been like when she spit out her coffee? I'm thinking it wasn't that far fetched. Like Pam, like every fine man that walk up in here. So why was that such a shock? Like it was just
That part to me feels like it's
this
a
episode
shock
just
in that for Pam to even want that as well, because Pam, you also feel like you discard these men very quickly, and Trey is clearly not going away. So you gonna fuck him, mess with him, piss him off, whatever you do with these niggas, and then he's still gonna be coming in here. So now there's drama. That is a very real thing to actually think about. Like, why are we playing like Karen is literally the big bad wolf? I really do not understand.
Yeah, I was confused about that one. I was thrown off. I really was. But then again, I guess it makes sense because like everything that happened after that, you know what I'm saying, was to imply that Karen is this mean, bitter black woman.
Yeah.
Everything that happened after that scene.
And it's like, my
So it's just
goodness, can
like,
we let that go? Y'all are never going to make fetch
please.
happen, okay? Especially when y'all have a whole beacon of bitterness running around down at the damn airport with her new man,
Oh,
the kids that she's going to accept, even though she's not actually accepting because the way she's still speaking about these kids is wild. Sir, how's your dick getting hard for a woman who talks about your
girl,
kids that way? But okay. And his wife.
while we here, while we here, sis, while we here. Because speaking of going down, um, Daniela chooses to take Zach's advice and try to give Tony head in his office. And I bust out laughing. I said, baby girl, the way you're being introduced to this man's side of the family, his kids walked in on you trying to have sex with their daddy in this office. The wife, no, walked into you attempting to give head. I'm gonna need y'all to do better. I'm gonna need y'all to stop boning in this office because obviously y'all don't know how to lock no damn doors. I'm not understanding why we doing that. That's number one. And then, as she stated, like the way that she worded this apology, because those badass kids, but they're your badass kids, and they're a package deal. You've been around these kids three times, and the most time you spent with them was probably at your home. And but it's like you said, these are still my kids, and there is a way that you can, speak about them in a way that's not demeaning or degrading. And for me to want to have sex with you after that, it's just giving weird.
It's mind boggling.
It just gave weird to me.
For real. For real, for real, for real. Um,
And I and it bothered me, like even when a woman walked in, who is this G.I. Jane looking bitch? Like, really? I'm
I'm
like,
not gonna hold you, Ellie. All of this feels very, very authentic to Daniela's character. The not locking doors is doing head in the office, very on brand. The saying that is very on brand.
It's brand.
It's all of it feels very.
It's definitely on
She's
brand.
the one who has been on brand, aside from going to go seek relationship advice from Zachary Taylor, who has not picked up the phone, texted, called, sent you a smoke signal. Aside from him needing help with the whole Karen circumstance since he moved on up to the Upper East Side.
Yes, I did. Yeah, those are very on brand for Danny. But I think I'm gonna like this wife though. I think I'm gonna like her being a part of the show
I think I'm
for
gonna
as
like her
long as I
too.
can like her.
I think I'm gonna like her too. Do you think that they're still married?
That I don't know because she did say his wife, and he was very quick to say ex-wife. I'm not sure about that. Maybe I don't know if they're legally separated and they're going through a divorce. But then I go back to like the first time we were introduced to them, and they try to make it seem like they married these crazy women.
Mm-hmm.
And I always get skeptical of men like that who always try to make it seem like, oh, the woman was no good, the woman was this. I don't buy that.
Yep.
I don't buy it. Like she's in the military, that don't mean she crazy. I don't know, and she might not. I'm interested to see if she's there to discuss what happened with the daughter.
I think she's
Like
just
that
coming
did pique
back
my
now
curiosity.
because he's had custody this whole time. Remember, she got deployed, so I
Yeah,
don't know if the daughter
yeah,
has seen her yet. It feels like she's coming for the first time
right.
since then. I'm feeling like they are married and in the process, and I wouldn't be shocked if they're just in the process of getting divorced and it's not finalized yet. Because Daniela, you were 3 months in, he's basically living at your goddamn house. You didn't even know that he was in therapy. So why in the hell would you know that he is not done with his divorce yet? You have a conversation about how, Sabrina is having time to freeze her eggs, and Karen has at least a couple months to prepare and wrap her head around these kids, but I've just had it thrown on me. These are not your goddamn kids. They're not coming out your goddamn womb. You do not need that much time to make sense of how you're going to allow your man and his children to impact your life when you literally knew that he had kids from the moment y'all started dating. How much more time do you need? Do we really believe ourselves to be people or to be a person who can operate within a romantic relationship and never see the man's kids? Ever. It's giving you high, honey. I know you say high a lot, but you need to put that goddamn pen down because you high a little bit too often if you really believe that to be true.
And you know what? You know what? Really, a lot of these things really made me go back to how all of these characters treat Karen. Like that's all I thought about when Danny made that statement about what's going on with Sabrina, and then the fact that Karen hasn't been able to wrap her mind around the things that's going on. And my thing is, you like the way that Danny is feeling about these children and being thrown into something. And then it's like, well, what if then she tells Tony, you're gonna have to be patient with me. I find it interesting how you want someone to have grace and patience with you when you were so readily and eager to go to Zach about getting a paternity test. And you ain't have no problem pressing your so-called best friend or your
Mm-hmm.
so-called sister. You didn't have no problem pressing with that. But when it comes to you, you want grace to be extended and you want Tony to show you patience. Same thing with Andy. You felt like Karen owed you an apology when she didn't. Karen apologized. You really didn't want to accept it. But now, when you have to be the person to extend that apology or that same type of earnest to Jordan, you have a problem with it because you already said it. So I kept like thinking about how these characters have impacted or inflicted their ways on Karen, but now that it's on you, it's almost as if they sit in the seat of because people love to say that Karen is judgmental, but it's like no, when you really look at what is being played out, these women want to extend something to them that they refuse to extend to her, and then when they're being placed in those situations, they want that same what they refuse to give her, they want others to give to them,
Yep.
and I'm like, I can't rock with them like that. That's why I don't like them helpers. That's why I don't like them helpers. Like for real.
That's why I don't like them apples. Yes.
Girl, I don't like them. I'm just getting thrown into this. And I'm like, you acting like you a damn stepmama. Them kids don't live with you.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're not raising them. You're not raising them. Tony just has them while the wife was deployed. Like obviously the kids don't even be around him like that. Or maybe he's a weekend father or whatever. I don't know the custody issue. But he don't have the kids like that. It was only for a moment in time and you're acting as if your whole entire life has been turned upside down because of these kids. And it has not.
It has not,
It
not at
hasn't.
all. Child. All right, y'all. I am also going to open
I tell
up.
you one thing.
Go for it.
Oh, go ahead.
No, go for it.
No, I said I just know. I just know one thing. Karen ass bet not be apologizing to no Zach, Fatima, or Danny. Now I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you this straight up on this live, writers. If you happen to follow this, if Karen apologizes, I'm gonna find out. I'm gonna go back to see who wrote the episode. Okay, I'm gonna drag you for filth on this here live. Then I'm gonna drag you for filth when I do my episode review. I'm gonna just make videos dragging you for filth until the following week when a new episode come out. Then I'm gonna stop. But I'm letting you know ahead of time. PSA: I'm dragging you if you have Karen apologize to any of those people, Zach, Fatima, or Danny. It is going to be a major problem on this here internet, these YouTube streets. I'm letting you know right now. All
Friend,
right.
I think you need to go ahead and prepare your punchlines because I fear it's coming.
I'm gonna get them ready.
She's
I'm
definitely
gonna get
going
them
to
ready.
apologize to Daniela at bare minimum, and I hate it for her. But also, I'm gonna tune it out and act like it didn't happen because she gives out way too much apologies, way too many.
Facts. Facts.
If you want to join the conversation and sound off, you can come into the Discord channel, go into the live chat waiting room, and I will pull you in to be able to add your voice to the conversation. Let me see, do we have the Discord link? In the meantime, in between time, anything else we missed?
Oh, I think we talked about everything.
Ain't no else said she gonna be in the in the comment section co-signing every last read that you got for these people. Let me think. I know that y'all struggle with Maurice. I love Maurice in this episode. I love the comedic relief that he provides. I love how Brian just really commits in the moment to what's on the page and he breathes life into it. I'm not mad at his suggestion about Calvin. That feels kind of authentic to his character. Um, yeah, I'm not opposed.
Yeah. Him suggesting Calvin is very authentic because I believe that I don't think that Maurice believes that Calvin and Sabrina will be great together romantically, but I believe that he knows that Calvin was a good friend to Sabrina,
Mm,
and if she's just trying to have a child, he's already a father of this child we ain't never seen, but Calvin already has a son, and
that's my
and
biggest like red
he would be
flag.
a good father.
Like I struggle with
Yeah,
that. I think I could buy
yeah,
more into the whole Calvin being a potential baby daddy if they had done a better job, if Tyler had done a better job of showing the type of father Calvin already is. So aside from it creating additional
yeah,
tension with Rich, I actually don't know if I want her to go through with it because you might know Calvin to a certain extent, but you don't know how he is in fatherhood. And what makes it more
correct.
complicated is that you picking it out of a book. You don't have a connection, a yeah, connection to the actual father. So there's no expectancy there. But he knows you, has loved you. He's not just going to give you his sperm and be like, all right, well, God bless you and the damn kid. He's going to want to be a part. Like, so it just makes it way more complicated than even Maurice is
Yeah,
alluding to.
yeah,
Perspective
and I
plans. I
think
thought that
also
Maurice
too,
was
like,
going to offer us his own sauce. I just knew he was, but I guess he's a little too vain for that.
I thought he was going that way too. Yeah, I thought he was going that way too. Um, but yeah, and I think one of the biggest issues I have so many issues, but one of the issues that almost every man on this show blames the woman for the demise of their relationship, or blames the woman for why they're not in their child's life, or why they're not, because Calvin's excuse was he got a crazy baby mama. She crazy. It was a one night stand, and we're not together because she crazy. She's crazy. We never seen this woman ever. She never did anything to you. Hell, Tyler never wrote her in, but she's crazy. Everybody got a crazy baby mama. Like, come on now. What did you do, Calvin? Because yeah,
Yeah.
it's always the woman.
And that's not to say that women cannot create problems, cannot have be a part of the
That's
conflict,
true.
but it's like it's two sides to that conflict, just like it's two parts of a relationship, and there's equal blame to be placed, and there's too many men that are pedestalizing themselves without assuming any of the blame or accountability in these conversations around the demise of their relationship and the lack of relationship with their kids or connection to their kids.
Yeah,
If anybody want to sound
yeah.
off, join the Discord now and tell Allie and I what you're thinking, what you're feeling. Anything else we missed? Anything in the
I
chat that
think we
y'all?
got everything. But I think we have. Journey with Cece asked us a question. She said, "Do y'all think Sisters is about sisters? Because friendship is missed in this entire show. It's just bouncing from situationship to situationship."
Uh,
Um, I'll say this: Sisters is not a reflection of the friendships and sisterhood that I have within my life. Um, Honestly, I think it's a horrible depiction of friendship and sisterhood. I do not believe this show is about that anymore, even if that was the foundation initially. I think they have gotten so far away from that. And then they also have like good things that they can actually build on to talk about jealousy and envy that exists within sisterhoods because that does happen. But we never ever find out the why when it comes to them. So it leaves so much for us to assume or come up with our own, thought processes as to why certain dynamics are the way that they are. And also kind of like something I stated earlier, they begin to widen or expand the lives of these people, but they never deal with the inner conflict of these four women. So they add characters, they continue to add on, and we get further and further away from the foundation of friendship and sisterhood. So when I watch Sisters, honestly, I I do not see friendship. I do not see sisterhood. And I know that could look different for different women. However, specifically for this, I don't see it much at all. That's my feelings about it.
I try my best not to compare Sisters as a series to the sisterhood that I experienced because I feel like the friendships that I have fostered, the ones that I have lost, all that I have gone through in reference to lived experience with friendships, I feel is very niche to me. And it's a lot further along than what most I think will ever experience. And that's not me tooting my own horn or trying to pedestalize myself or my friendships. I just think that I have been blessed to find friends in this life who have gone the extra mile to truly understand me, to truly see me, and to work with me to figure out what's the best way for us both to exist and supporting one another, or like all of us to exist. Like, I don't have like one friend group. I have like people that I'm attached to, and I pop in and out of different friend groups. Like, that's just, I want one friend group, but my personality is more like of like a lone person who is like cared for by these people in these different pockets. And I've been blessed to have people who have shown up for me in ways that I didn't even fully know at the time that that's how I needed them to show up. And we have like cultivated our relationship off of like navigating and figuring that out. So for me, Sisters is definitely not a representation of that, but most friendships aren't. Like, I see from the outside looking in, I look to girls navigating social media with friends and I see fallouts on TikTok or whatever, and it feels like a lot of people's natural states of friendship is very surface level. You are friends with who you grew up with, who you went to school with, who you live next to, people who are very convenient to you in proximity. And all of my friendships as I have right now are really built on me making it, or us, whoever I'm friends with, making a real effort to be in each other's lives because it's not convenient to do so, but we still do so. I don't have a problem with Sisters focusing on the type of friendships that have been cultivated in college and have just stuck together because y'all have been friends. My struggle or my issue with Sisters, and why I would say that it's not actually about sisterhood or friendship, is because they refuse to fully dive into and center the story of like what that actual friendship looks like and how you navigate it or how you mishandle it, how you grow, how you regress, how you progress, all of those things that come up along the way in those friendships. They refuse to address that. And oftentimes they default to centering the men in these women's lives versus centering the friendship, which should be the core of the show, which is the thing that ultimately I think changes most Black women specifically. My romantic relationships have improved and my familial relationships have improved by way of kind of like high tide raises all sails, right? Like, because I've had such intentional, specific, supportive, amazing friendships, because I have let go of people and gone through the process of grieving friendships that had to go and didn't align with me, and then like navigating and aligning with people who are more like me, and people who I'm coming into friendship with are expecting more of me. So now I have to rise to the occasion. They might have to rise to the occasion because I'm a very specific, particular type of person, right? In what I have learned with a lot of my friendships, my platonic friendships, I've now taken to my relationship with my mother, my relationship with my father, my relationships with all of these other people in my life, because my friends have shown up in a way, and I'm like, oh, so it shouldn't be, it's not hard. Like, you can actually meet me here, mom. Like, you can actually listen to me, dad. You can actually listen to me, sister. Like, this is what I need, and I can articulate that. And I think that that's the part that Sistas missing, because they're never going to be able to communicate the walk of life of every black woman. But for this specific subset, for this specific slice of life with these specific women, I don't believe that they are actually centering the walk of friendship with these girls. They are centering men. And that is what is making it not about sisterhood, not about friendships, and honestly doing the whole entire show a disservice, because if they were focusing on the friendships, the conflict, the growth, everything that come along with it, every last other relationship that they choose to include as a subplot or a B story, C story, whatever, would also become exponentially better as well. I'm sorry I just gave y'all that long ass take, but yeah. So no, I don't
No,
think that
that
Sistas
is
is
so
about
good.
sisters.
I think that is so good, Erica, because I'm listening to you talk. It's kind of like we kind of have like some of the similar story as far as being in multiple friendship dynamics. And one of the reasons why I was so excited about Sisters initially is because these were friends from college. So one of my specific sister groups are the people I met from college. We were 18 years old when we initially met each other, and now we are the same age as the women on this show. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So we have gone through so many different experiences with each other, from one of my homegirls getting pregnant our junior year of college, finding out that she was pregnant with twins when she was 6 months, because one was hiding behind the other. Then finding when she gave birth, one of her twins, his organs were on the outside of his body when he was born.
Mm.
Both of her sons are autistic. The one who was born with his organs outside of his body is severely autistic. However, he is a genius when it comes to music. He can memorize songs. I remember the first time we actually heard him speak. He was singing. He didn't even start talking. He started singing. And so with that, and her being afraid how her grandmother was going to view her, because she was so into the church, and now that friend is married to a woman, when she came out to us. So it's like so many stories that can be pulled. There were times when I was closer to one friend than I would the other, but then life circumstances happen. Then I'm not as close to that one anymore. I'm more closest to this one. But we definitely had conflict. We definitely had moments where we had to talk some things out, and we just don't see that. And it's going back to that why. Why is there an issue between Karen and Danny? We don't know, and they've been playing with it since season one. So we've had over 100 episodes, never really dealing with the issue with these women,
Yep.
or why are they still friends? You know what I'm saying? The importance that they are in each other's lives, even from watching them from season one to now, excuse me, with their different experiences, it amazes me how easily they can discard one another. Like just completely discard. With Andy specifically, how like I'm wondering, like, how do you really view these people? Because I think about the situation with her and Karen, when she promised Fatima she wouldn't tell Karen about the picture, and then when Karen brought it to her attention, she told Karen, I didn't want to betray her. And then Karen's response was, but you'll betray me, of all people,
Mm-hmm.
for Fatima, you will betray me. Going back to why people feel like, well, we don't understand why Karen have an issue with Fatima. Are you being for real right now? There are so many things that have happened that people just refuse to acknowledge, or treat Karen as if she shouldn't have a response to certain things. And so I know with me and in some of my friend groups specifically, because I'm not like a outwardly emotional person. I'm normally very like grounded in how I feel, and I can express it without crying. I went through a point where people just felt like they could say whatever the hell they wanted to me, and I was just supposed to take it and not have any response to it.
Mm-hmm.
So with Karen, I feel for her in that way, because I feel like, because she's considered, whether people want to admit it or not, in the circle, she's considered like the strong friend. So I'm gonna say whatever the hell, do whatever the hell, and you just take it. You don't have a response to it. Then when she show her ass out, people looking at her like she crazy. And I
Mm-hmm.
know I've had that experience before. It's like, no, I have feelings just like you, but because I'm not, because I'm not crying or my voice isn't cracking doesn't mean it didn't affect me the same way. And those were conversations I had to have with my friends because their presence in my life meant a lot to me. Have
Mm-hmm.
there been friends that I've had to bow out gracefully with? Absolutely. Did it hurt? Worse than breaking up in a romantic relationship. But let's see that, show that dynamic. I really thought we was gonna see a moment where Karen and Andy just kind of distant themselves from each other, which I thought would have been a beautiful story.
Yeah, a hundred
It was
percent.
befitting. They were working toward that. Just do it. Show what does that look like. And I think we do not get to see the ups and downs of friendship. It's just all drama. And it's like, who want to be connected to people like that? Sometimes you got to
Exactly.
fight for your friend. You got to fight for those friendships. You have to make effort. When you made that statement about effort, most of my friends are teachers. So one of my homegirls, like, she know the days I work from home. So on those days, after she pick her son up from school, he's 3. When she pick her son up on her way home, we talk on the phone until she gets home to her husband,
Mm.
and now she's pregnant with her second child now. So it's like we have to make an effort to be present because we all live in different places and stuff like that. But no, it's so far away from sisterhood on this damn show.
Yeah, and it's weird. It's really, really weird. Hold on one second. Let me get um I'm getting Wednesday talk
That's
patched
safe.
in. Yes, hold on one second. Mm, 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 mm.
I can hear you.
Hold on, Tay. Hold on.
Uh huh. Okay.
Do, 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 do. Okay. All right. Tay, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Alrighty. Hey, boo.
Hello, y'all. I just
Hey, Tay.
so I ain't catch the beginning part. Hey.
You want to sound off on a particular part of this episode, Share?
Um, a couple of parts, but I'm gonna be quick because I know it's late. I'll just finish out this episode. But one part in particular was the part with Tony and his wife slash ex-wife.
Hmm.
The lady walked in there with a military uniform on. Why would you disrespect her by calling her a bitch? You don't know if that was a employee at the airport. You don't know who the hell that lady was. So why the hell would you say this GI Jane bitch? Like, you don't know who she was. Like, if she was a colleague that's been out on leave and
Mm-hmm.
coming in, like, the respect was at an all time low. And um did you notice that when she came in, y'all probably did, Bo, but when she came in and she told Tony that she had talked to her girls and Zach, but then he said, what did they say? And then she only repeated what Zach and Fatima said.
But that's all she talked to.
Like, exactly. Because why
Mhm.
the hell you didn't call? That's and even Andy was like, what the hell did Danny want? Like, what was Danny coming over there for? I didn't even know Danny knew where the hell Zach lived at.
Yeah, she knew when he was acting all too
Oh,
good,
she's
like
been
on
there
a
before.
pedestal.
Oh,
Like
he
when
She's
he
been
came
didn't want
over
before.
there
her,
that one
he didn't want
time.
her touching nothing. You can't go upstairs. Why are you
Yes,
here?
when he was acting like she was gonna break in the house like a crackhead knocked on the door or something. I remember that. Yeah.
Yep.
So
Yep.
why would you just pop up over his house? For one, he lives with the lady. So why would you just pop up over his house any damn way? That was weird to me. And then Zach come and telling Fatima that he wants one of them to take Michael to school. What do you mean, one of us? It's
I
the
let him have it
one of us
earlier.
is gonna be your ass
Tay,
daily.
I let his ass have it. I lit him up at the top of this live because of that. Because this ain't no
I'm not
way.
watching. You probably watching tomorrow. I'm not supposed to be damn working. Um,
Well, actually, I lit Fatima up. Well, no, I lit both of them up. I don't
but
remember.
she didn't say shit. She didn't say nothing. Like she just said, "Well, Zach, nothing. Tell him no." And why is Michael
Tell
going to school?
him
What is he going
no.
to sign with that school?
Tell him no. When anybody show up at the door, when you want to go bust into Karen's house, you got your pocketbook and your gun and you ready. But when Zach come with the shenanigans, you want to sit there. Well, I don't know. You fail in law school and you want to sit here and say, oh well.
And you just told him that you were failing law school and that you was feeling overwhelmed. And when the hell did Michael go see Heather? So she just don't even see the boy no more?
Child, they would have me believe
Girl.
that they would have Heather. Is Heather in jail? Like, where's she at?
Right.
I'm
Did she
assuming she's
get
in
locked up
jail.
for neglect? Like, where the hell is Heather? Like, they just written Heather completely off as if the boy, like, maybe he's never going to talk because not only was he traumatized when he was with his mother, but that's all he's known. So he still is going to be traumatized being without her for this long period of time, just like cold turkey. Like, it's going to have an effect on him.
Yep.
They not telling him that in
Yeah.
therapy or nothing. Like, and again, what is he going to school for? Like, is he doing sign language at damn school? Because he don't even talk. He's not verbal. So is he going to daycare? Why is he going to a school that
He's
a bus
3
is coming
years
to pick him
old.
up? Hey, that's like, and squeeze me.
Baby. Say
That's what
you
I'm
literally
saying.
echoed the same thing I said. I literally said, what school is he going to at the age of 3 that a school bus is coming to pick him up and take him? And Zach talking about something, I don't want nobody picking on my shorty. What the age of these kids he riding the bus with, sir? Where's he going?
And if you
Exactly.
don't want it that
And
bad,
when
then homeschool them. But you can't do that because your ass is dumb diddy.
and did you see him close that laptop when Fatima came home? Like he had been working on it.
Solitaire. I already told you I was on
Right.
that goddamn
Probably was watching
laptop.
porn.
Man, I would have picked if I was Fatima. I would have picked that computer up and beat him over his damn head with it. Like you ain't been doing nothing all damn day. And where's the meat from the
Nothing.
damn whole wheat pasta? Where's the meat at? Talking about some damn pasta and spinach salad and meat. Where's the meat? I
Let me
I
tell you
I went
something.
back at
Say,
Fatima.
I had a laugh because first of all, if you cook, sir, Fatima just got home. She ain't smell nothing in that
What
damn
they
kitchen.
doing?
Well, I guess I'll go start dinner. No, no, no. I already took care of that. When? We don't smell nothing. When you cook?
When?
When you
Like
bite
she
that?
didn't even smell the red onions from the spinach salad. Like nothing. What that was in the air. Oh
Ain't
yeah,
smell not a thing.
she like oh food. Like even if he had put it up, she would have still smelled that food had been cooked in there. So he must have
Yes.
just put the pasta on the grill outside or something. I don't know how the hell he did that. Um,
I ain't
the
got time for
other
that.
thing, the other thing is, I did enjoy Aaron like going completely off. I did not like that he was calling her miserable and stuff like that. Like, I think that when people say that women are miserable because they're having a reaction to things that has happened to them, I think that's gaslighting. I think that's baloney. Miserable saying that she's like bitter and miserable implies that she doesn't have a reason to feel the way that she's feeling. Like she has reason, and it's not that she doesn't blame the stuff on Zach or Fatima or anybody else. She puts it on. She's blaming. Like she is blaming him for it. Like she is blaming him for some stuff. I feel like she that Zach did to her, and that's her stance on life. But I didn't like the misery part that he was saying, but the other stuff he was spot on, and I think he tried to take a page out of Zach's book and try to get her together, and I hate that. Um, that worked. Like it seemed like
That's
that's
the other
what.
part of it that I have a problem with. I only wanted him to speak to his issues with her because he has very valid issues that needed to be brought up.
Yeah.
But him caping
Mhm.
for Zach and Fatima was complete and utter poppycock. And then also now the fandom is going to be able to say, "Well, see, Zach was right, and he told him to do that." Aaron, you didn't need Zach to tell you a motherfucking
Mhm.
thing about how to show up in this woman's
Yeah.
life. If anything, Zach should have been
Mhm.
learning from you. And I hate that the writers actually gave Zach this goddamn alley oop or this attaboy by having him use
Exactly.
those specific words.
Yeah. Yeah. That's exactly what they did. And that part I did not like either. I don't like that they keep on trying to make it seem like um that black women like they'll run over you if you don't put them in their place and stuff like that. Like it's ridiculous. It's stupid. It's getting on my damn nerves. I don't think that what Zach was saying, like you gotta put no, cause Zach, you treated her like shit.
Exactly.
Like how was it, you know why she was treating you the way that she treated you? Because that's how you was treating her, but just in a passive aggressive way via cheating and all of that stuff you were doing, passing on STDs and all of that stuff. That's why she didn't have any respect for you. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that
agree with that, and
part
I
was
think
mixed. It was mixed.
one of my issues is that Aaron was not ever a character who was afraid to say anything to Karen when we initially met him. So it's like this
Mm-hmm.
is not anything new. This was a part of his, a part of his character. So it was like the fact that he had this conversation with Zach, and now Zach is telling him what he needs to do, and Karen gonna run over you. And I'm like, I went back to when he told Karen, like, I don't know what your deal is with old dude, but you would not talk to me like that. Like that
Yeah.
ain't that right there won't fly with me. So it's like it's
Yeah.
not abnormal, but for him to come at her like you said with the miserable, her being miserable and being bitter, and that's why Zach couldn't deal with you. And we talked about that earlier. Like there are so many things that exist between Karen and Aaron that he didn't need to bring up Zach, Fatima, or Karen's friends. That conversation should have been strictly
Mhm.
between what his heart is with Karen, and because it made it like, and to your point, it made it seem like she doesn't have a reason to have issues with the people that he named when she does.
And the whole,
She have legitimate issues with these people.
the whole, this is why Zach couldn't handle you. It's now starting to chap my ass because Zach couldn't handle her because she's a grown ass woman. He's a little ass boy. Zach couldn't handle her because she's a grown ass woman with with a business, being an entrepreneur, and he could barely keep a goddamn job. He couldn't
Mhm.
handle her because he thinks that the only way that he's going to get ahead in life is via his penis. He has nothing to
Mhm.
offer besides his penis and a fucking smile. That's why he could not handle her. Zach not being able to
Mhm.
handle Karen had absolutely nothing to do with Karen Mott, Aaron Carter, and you know that shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
And why was they saying that like Zach, like Karen let Zach live off of her and all of that stuff? But Zach was working at the airport. Why wasn't he paying anything?
Because he
I'm
has
gonna
a
give it to him.
penis. Duh.
He got that good penis, girl. He got that
Damn.
good penis.
We
I don't know
seem to
what the
think
problem.
that
Y'all
that's
remember the
enough.
episode
He comes
where
home at night, he got a job and don't
this
put
one
no
ain't
money in the
that
house, and he has a penis. That's it. And then Allie
this one
and
I do.
Erica are the
This one I know.
Antichrist because we say we can't make that enough.
Mhm. It's not. It's not that you. They see what Fatima going through.
But
I
they
don't know.
don't. Because they say, oh yeah, give us that Zatima love. We just need it in our spirit, in our soul. Goes. They see
They
it
give
and they
us
want
those
it.
one little. They give us those one little cute scenes with Zach and Fatima, like when they did the handshake thing, about whatever they was talking about the nanny, and
About
then
the ugly nanny. Because it gotta be
yeah,
ugly
and
because
then he
Zach
was
might
like
fuck
giving it
it.
back. Yeah, like that was cute. That's it. Like And
But
that
was
like
it even cute
I
though?
don't pay
Even
for it.
that, they step on the cute moments, the moments that could be aspirational,
Yeah,
because y'all are dapping on the fact that y'all going to go get an ugly nanny because Zach might sleep with the cute one.
exactly. But why do y'all even need a damn nanny when Zach ain't doing a damn thing?
Ain't doing nothing. I don't think those hand claps are cute because that's too much like DeVal and Kadeem. That's something he
Mm.
do with his wife. Why is that single? So I don't
Yeah,
find it
they
cute at all.
making
I
that
don't find it
real
cute. I
damn
don't find it
comfortable.
sexy.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like that's something he do with his wife. Why we brought that onto the show? But I don't think anything they're cute. Like I said last week, when it comes to Zach and Fatima, they are a joke that's no longer funny. I don't find them funny no more. I don't find like I just you made me think about uh Yvette or Baby Boy.
Mm.
Don't love me no more. Child, my God.
No boy, no baby, no, he don't. Get me out of here. That's what I want Fatima to do. Get the
Driving
hell
her
out of the
car,
car.
talking to the girls.
It's like, what you doing? Leave. Like one of y'all leave, please. One of y'all, please go. And
Okay, this
Fatima
is
just
how.
look dumber by the episode.
Yeah, she is giving thirst trap. You going into work late, coming back, coming right back home. Zach still in the same position, in that on that same couch with the same clothes on. And she said both of them was working full time. What working what
Girl,
full time? Then she called him Mr. Mom. Which one is it?
confusion. This whole episode is a big ball of
Mom
damn
would be the
confusion.
nanny. And you in law school and don't need a damn nanny. He need to get that damn boy back to Heather. And he could have been not volunteering, but he could have had Michael in the daytime when Heather got off work, or he could have even had him sometime like at night. Like I'll keep him at night if your sister gonna keep him at night or whatever while you at work, and then I'll keep him. I'll come and get him in the morning when you get off, so you can get some sleep and not neglect him.
Okay. Because everybody kept saying Zach needs to get his son. Zach needs to get him from Heather. And all Zach do is put blocks in front of that boy and quote books. He
Mm-hmm.
don't do a damn
And
thing
tell
with that
Fatima what
baby.
she about to do to and substitute of what Heather can do.
Whew.
Right.
I cannot. What about Pam and her? What Karen was hinting to when she was saying that she don't think that she's Trey's type.
Oh, you gotta go back and watch that because we talked about that too, girl.
Oh yeah, we
We,
talked
we
about that
broke that
too.
down
Yeah.
already, honey.
I'm gonna watch it in the morning. I'm gonna watch it in the morning because I don't know. Pam's starting to get a little flip with her and Karen. I don't. You think they trying to break the friendship? I don't know.
Yes, they are here.
I,
They are here to annihilate Karen at all costs. Yes,
In every way possible.
any ally she
because
has, she
my
will
thing
not have
is
them for long.
right. Why would you even want to talk to him after he came in there trying to talk to Karen? Like that's too close for comfort. And he always coming in there. Want that? Like what part of that turns you on? Him lusting after your pregnant friend, and I don't get it. Why would you want to ask him out? And don't you got all them other dudes that you talk to? Why would you want to ask Trey out when he's in there begging to try to talk to somebody that's pregnant? If he wanted to talk to you or you was whatever he wanted, he wouldn't try to talk to you. I don't. That's weird to me.
Very.
But I'm
Well, you know, on this show they have to have it where they just pass men along. Because remember, Fatima had slept with Zach, which was Karen's ex. She also slept with a man who used to bone Danny. So I guess it just makes sense to have Pam go try to bone somebody who was trying to possibly bone Karen. It's just nasty.
yeah, it's a
And
lot.
It's just
apparently,
nasty.
everybody is
It's
getting
too much.
hard and wet for people that they should not be. I would not be getting hard and or wet for a person who does not respect my kids. But alas, there's Tony, ready to get his wet.
Yeah, it would be given soft and noodle because like the way her attitude is, like even if she's not used to being around kids like that, the way she's like, what? Kid, watch them. Oh, like you okay? You know what? Say less. We gonna end this right here because I can't fuck with you like that because you don't with my kids. Like it's nothing positive that she
Period.
ever had to say about them. It's
Ever.
always like she acted some bugs or something.
Those
I
are
don't know.
facts.
Big
Those are
facts.
facts.
Big
That's all I.
facts. That's all you got?
That's all I got. I gotta watch the replay because I said I gotta get on here
Yes.
tonight. Every Wednesday, some mess is going on, and I'm on here trying to. I said I gotta get to my girls at 10:30. I'm missing every episode. I'm missing every episode in the live.
Well,
So
yeah, I
I'm
think that
on
you're gonna enjoy it. When you watch the playback, you're gonna enjoy it.
I already know I will. I be on. When I tell y'all, I watch every single damn minute of it.
Thank you.
Uh, all right, love y'all, ladies, and
Love you
good
too.
night.
We
Love
Thank you
you
for
too,
appreciate
letting me
you.
ladies.
up.
Good night.
Lordy, lordy, lordy. Okay, let me get rid of that. All right, Ellie, I think we have addressed everything. Let me go through the comments real quick. Um Thank you, Ellie. Copied the Ellis's in real life signature hand clap and gave it to Zatima. The problem is they didn't copy the Ellis's great communication, effective communication, emotional intelligence. They haven't copied the healthy aspects of their love. They only took the little cute coinable things and have placed those in the show to try to add validity to Zatima without giving them a strong foundation. So I think that's the biggest issue Allie had with them co-opting the Ellis's handshake for this toxic ass couple.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, somebody did ask. I don't remember who asked, but I saw it and I meant to address it, but we kind of got off on a tangent. They asked, "Do we think that Aaron was doing too much?" No, I don't. I think that I didn't like the dialogue when he was caping for Zatima, but that's the only issue. I don't think that necessarily was doing too much. I think that was an agenda pushed forward by the writers to give voice to the fandom, and to discredit and to disparage Karen. But I don't think that he was doing too much in buying the stroller. I think, similar to what Aaron said to Karen, I think more black women than should experience this. Not all, but more than they should. The amount is way more than it should be. Black women experience pregnancies on their own, experiences with pregnancy in that particular season completely solo. So I think that a lot of y'all's default to say, oh, he shouldn't have bought her this because she wanted to do a registry and she wants to do it this way and she wants to do it that way, is coming from that lack mentality subconsciously. This is not a dig to anybody who says it. It's just me pointing out what I feel like it to be, because regardless of her wanting to do things her way, she is one half of the parentage of this child, of these children. So yes, the mother has a lot of say, but she doesn't have all the say. If he goes and buys a stroller that she doesn't like, we've also gotten to see that Aaron is a character who has no problem making a return, has no problem giving her 6, 7, 8 strollers to choose from. I don't put past Aaron coming in here with 16 car seats and asking her which one does she like. A lot of people were saying at the top of this live of like, Aaron needs to go ahead and give Karen space because she asked for this. He's not showing up at her house. I don't think it's a problem for him to show up at the salon. And from what we have seen, we have watched her give him certain energy that has been borderline disrespectful and majority of the time trying to ignore him. So who are we to say that he's not doing certain things and she's not responding? And now he's popping up. I don't think that he's doing too much in trying to be an active father and trying to stay true to what his character is, even with this woman putting roadblocks up. And I think it's hard for y'all to understand that or for y'all to see it that way. One, because it's a few things that's happening. It could be a combination of them all, or it could be one thing. You don't actually like Aaron, so that's one thing. So anything that he does, you're going to have a problem with it, right? Or you are more used to, like I said, what we see a lot in our culture of women going through these particular seasons solo. So anything that this man is doing outside of that particular lens, you feel like it's a disservice to this woman, when in actuality he is servicing her better than every other man, including her non-existent father that has come into her life. So I don't think that he was doing too much. Ellie, do you think that he was doing too much?
I don't. And my bad, I had to come off. My phone was about to die. I had to put on the
Oh,
charger.
no worries.
Um, but no, I do not believe that Aaron did too much. I think that Kevin played that. Other than the bull crap, the little bull crap they had him say, I think that Kevin played that so beautifully because you can literally see the frustration on his face.
Mm-hmm.
You can see that he had enough. He was fed up. He was tired. And I think that, like a lot of people I know, feel that he should respect her boundaries or leave her alone. He's the father. Like the same way that people feel like, Karen's feelings should be validated and he should adhere to that. He has feelings as well. This is his first biological child. You know what I'm saying? And it's like he should be able to enjoy that the same way Karen is. And I don't feel like he did too much. I was with him until he said the little bull crap. But I think everything that I think that he has been holding, I think he probably has been trying to spare her in a lot of ways, maybe even because of her condition. But you could tell he was like, enough is enough, and I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
get this off right now. So I didn't have any problem with him saying what he said that was pertaining to him and her. And I was here for it.
Yeah.
I was here for it.
And I think the people were saying that he shouldn't come to the shop, him or Zach. I will pose this question again. Do we think that Karen deserves to go through this pregnancy completely alone? Because I do think that there's something to be said about us living in a space or a season of self sabotage, of punishing ourselves, which I do think that Karen is in that space. She's still looking at being pregnant by two different men with two babies is a shameful thing. It's a thing that taints her. She cares about what other people think. She's vocalized as much. So part of this is also her punishing herself and not allowing herself to accept support in this way. I think that there's something to be said about ignoring the people that you love when their wishes are to punish themselves. So would y'all rather Karen be left to her own devices to continue this pregnancy process completely solo and to punish herself? Because that's what it feels like y'all are advocating for. He is not pushing a romantic relationship on her. He is literally showing up, bringing baby supplies and support. And to me, to advocate against that feels, and I'm saying feels because feelings are not fact, and I'm aware of that, feels very buying into the bullshit narrative of black women can just do anything on our own and we don't need nobody, and ultimately maybe we don't deserve support and help.
Yeah, and I think it's just like, I guess just how people, perceive it to be. Excuse me. Um, Before he found out he was the father, he definitely didn't come around and he didn't call. But the moment he found out that he was, we're seeing his excitement the same way that some people had an issue with Fatima being at the hospital because it made it to where Zach could not show his excitement, how he had to stifle that, and a lot of people had something to say about it. It's the same way. It's the same thing going over here with Aaron. Why should he have to stifle his excitement because Karen hasn't fully digested what's happening? And I get that. Like, I do understand. She has not fully digested the fact that, she has two daddies in the picture or whatever the case may be. But as you just stated, Erica, her feelings does not change the fact that you have two children from two different men. And I would think you would want those men to be active because people will have something to say about Aaron if he just completely left Karen the hell alone.
Mm-hmm.
If he didn't show up to the doctor's office, if he wasn't bringing things around, to me that goes against the nature of the character. Like if Zach didn't show up, I mean, I would expect that. But with Aaron, I do expect him to be there. I do expect him to show his concern in multiple ways, making sure she's taking her vitamins, making sure she's eating right. And then my thing is, people would get mad at Aaron, but they will applaud Zach if Fatima is pregnant and he's doing all those things for her. So the way I look at it, he ain't doing too much. He's doing exactly what he needs to do. And that's just how I see it. And it's not even like who I like more. It's just about I'm thinking if I'm pregnant, if I'm in that situation, and yes, it's I may be embarrassed, whatever the case may be, but this man wants to be there. So I can deal with, the disappointment in myself, but let him be there.
Yeah. And going to like expound upon that, Just Danielle says, I didn't say that she should go through it alone. She needs a minute to deal with this. She will let Aaron in when she's ready. She's not stopping them from being fathers. But that's exactly what y'all are advocating for her to do, because at this point he's not fighting for her to let him in romantically or even on a mental, spiritual, emotional level specifically for her. Y'all are mad he's showing up with a stroller. Y'all are mad that he's showing up with baby bottles. Y'all are mad that he's showing up with shakers. Like, that's all he has been doing, and that's something that a father would do. So to say that he needs to stop showing up with stuff for the baby is saying that you want him to stop doing things that a father would do, which is stopping him from being a father in this particular case. I think that the people who don't like Aaron or might be super critical of him in this particular moment, and maybe that's you just saying, yo, I can't really say because I don't remember all of what your specific talking points are with him. I know that Erica James don't like Aaron, I believe. But I think that there's a lack of being able to separate the two. I have yet to see Aaron do anything that's crossing the line to make her profess her love or like agree that she actually still loves him or any of those things in a romantic space. He is showing up specifically in a supportive role as the father and being very mindful about that and trying to navigate this circumstance in the ways that he feels like he can best fill whatever holds. When he heard that Zach was talking about he want half the belly, he went to go check Zach about that because Karen shouldn't have to be worrying about that. If Karen's feet was hurting tomorrow, he wouldn't be giving her foot rubs, not because he's trying to get her back in the bed, but because her goddamn feet hurt and he's here of service. And I think that because we don't expect men enough to operate in a space of service, we get really anti when we see it. Is that what you're saying?
I like that.
We're saying let Karen breathe for a minute. Oh, going back to the whole let Karen breathe for a minute. She's already past the 6-month part. He has already lost 6 months of this pregnancy, and he's the father. There's 3 months left. How much more time does he have to sit on the sidelines and wait while, again, Karen punishes and shames herself? Because that's all that's happening. Because he's not requiring a relationship from her, what is he giving her time to breathe about? The time to breathe is not pressuring her to get in a relationship, not pressuring her to talk about them and us and blah, 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 blah. But to say, give her time to process or to breathe and make peace with this, which ultimately means that he has to reject all of his natural impulses to show up as an active father from pregnancy on. That to me seems like it's asking a little bit too much out of him. It'd be a different story if he was asking for anything of Karen. Like, he's not even asking of anything of her other than her to just put some respect on his goddamn name and stop acting like he's a bug. Like when Tay Talk said, she literally acted like he's a pest, and all he's doing is showing up with equipment, showing up with stuff. You don't put all your money. You out here trying to take second mortgages out, second loans and shit out. And he's investing in Pam's business, and he's showing up and buying stuff. Like, let's be for real, Karen. Let's be for real. Yes, it's a little bit messy. Yes, this whole thing can be complicated, but also you can take it one step at a time and you can focus on the thing at hand. And the thing at hand right now is that he has a goddamn stroller. Has Zach walked in with a damn stroller? Meanwhile, he's talking about buying matching Jeeps and trust funds and this, that, and the third. You're going to need sanitizers today. You're going to need Pampers now. He's talking about trust funds and fucking matching Jeeps. I think that we're giving too much smoke to the wrong person.
Let's go. And then on top of that, I think about too, most twins, women don't carry twins full term for the most part. They tend to come early. So him being, prepared, and I'm sure Aaron has done his research, like Fatima. Um, I'm sure he knows this, that they come early, and maybe he's trying to get, himself prepared. So to say give her space and give her time. She may not have all the time that she thinks because these kids may come early. You're already, and according to Andy, we've already moved up another like month and a half on the show. So she's probably 7 months right now. Like she's 7 months pregnant. You ain't got that much longer before these kids come. So I feel like with I can even respect the fact like if he I can even see like if he called first, like, hey, I got this. And then I understand too, he probably just wanted to surprise her because he probably thought she would be elated about it. And then even going back to the point you made earlier, Erica, is that in that moment, Karen did look as if she was excited. And then she stifled it real quick.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like that I don't want to leave that part out either. Like it's like she's happy, but she is not allowing herself to feel that happiness and that excitement with him specifically.
Which is more so on her part, her sitting in personal romantic feelings versus Aaron is not operating from that particular place right now. So I don't think that we should be holding him to that. Karen can take all the time that she needs to process, but also life is still moving. None of us get to press pause for real in life. So while we can create space for the people that we love and, oh, I need a break right now, romantically, cool, but life still moves on. Like Allie said, the babies are coming. They're coming. And even if y'all don't like the packaging that this is coming in, she needs support. This is the second time we just seen her mama. The first time the mama was telling Zach to not show up, but then also still caping for Zach's goofy ass on the back end. She does not have support. She has a homegirl that pushed a pregnancy test on her by proxy of the goddamn baby daddy. And yes, he could set this stuff up at his house. All of what y'all are saying could be true, but then also then it wouldn't be a show because then they have to interact. That's the whole point. My point is I don't think that Aaron is the villain that y'all are trying to make him out to be, or that it feels like y'all are trying to make him out to be. And again, be clear, feelings are not facts. I don't believe that y'all are purposefully trying to do it. I just think that the narrative of like of Aaron is doing too much when he has consistently shown up for this particular black woman at a very traumatizing, troubling season of her life. I struggle with that narrative being created around this particular character because I believe that more black women deserve black men to do this because we have no problem doing it for them.
Those are facts.
DNC greatness. I think that Karen is full of shit sometimes. So you saying that all Karen is asking for is that Aaron calls or texts her first. I think that Karen be ignoring this nigga. I believe 100% actually that there are times where she be ignoring him because she in her feelings and she's full of shit.
I can see that.
So y'all can say all she asking for. Karen is emotional. She pregnant. She's shaming herself. She's going through a lot. And every now and again, when you love somebody, you gotta see what they saying and be like, all right, but this is what you need, actually. So I hear you, but and if it's not good and you not actually causing no harm, he not actually causing no goddamn harm to this lady. So like, let's be for real, y'all. You got Mel said sometimes you gotta pop out and show women. Exactly. Show my ass. And I also feel like, I'm gonna be 100% honest, y'all. I'm speaking from a place and a perspective where I am stubborn as fuck. Like, I will stand on business about how I feel knowing that the shit ain't right in a relationship. Like, because I just feel it so damn strongly. So I personally want a man who is going to be able to see through the bullshit. Because sometimes we get in our own way.
You do.
Tiff, Karen is 100% grappling with control. I'm not saying you specifically DNC greatness. I just think that the overwhelming narrative when there's a whole bunch of people saying that he's so wrong, that ultimately starts to villainize that character. It's the same thing that they do to Karen. All right. I think we addressed a bunch of the points.
Yeah, but this was good though. I'm glad to see that Aaron scene has caused so much like debate and conversation because I think it's good. I think it's good just to see how people feel about that particular scene or whatnot.
Yeah.
I definitely think this is the most that we have seen Aaron be the main topic of discussion for a long time.
I just hate that it's
So
now
I
becoming
definitely,
that because he's putting Karen in her place. Like,
yeah.
y'all need to relax. The real demon spawn is running around Atlanta in a goddamn airport uniform, and y'all ain't got boo to say about that.
Mm.
Just saying, yo, I have been Karen, which is why I'm also saying what I'm saying. I've made very similar decisions to Karen as it pertains to choosing a toxic love over a healthy one, not being able to fully see certain things because I happen to be in a season of toxic love. So I have been Karen. And right now, Karen is full of shit at moments. And rightfully so, because the current experience that she's experiencing, it's a lot. It's a lot to take in. It's a lot, especially if you give a damn about what people think about around you, and she does. So what I'm saying is Aaron is actually more of a help than he is harm to her. And sometimes we can establish boundaries, as y'all are saying, because I personally don't believe that he's violating any of her boundaries. But we also can create boundaries to keep people out that is not actually helpful for us as a way to punish ourselves. So Lottie, she didn't have to lug anything out of there. First of all, the stroller has wheels, and you saw she left it right there. But all right. If you got more thoughts, drop them in the comment section down below. Thank y'all so much for joining us on another episode of Our Sisters Keeper. It's your good sis you love to talk TV with, and
Yes. Allie Nick, giving it to you when I give it to you, but always in the nick of time.
we're gonna see y'all in our next videos and or next week on live. Good
Yes,
night.
yes. Thanks, y'all.